Welcome to Highland High School. We got football tonight after the bye week. Highland 3-2. They welcome in the Desert Vista Thunder. And Scott, on paper, this is a pretty lopsided matchup, but there's a reason they play the games. What have you seen out of Desert Vista, specifically with those receivers that you think will be a challenge for the Highland defense tonight?
Well, they ride their top horse. Rowan Martinez leads the team in touchdowns with 9 of them. He is their clear number one option. Shutting him down is going to be key, but they have Michael Allison as well through the slot, who plays a Debo Samuel-like role while catching the ball, but also taking rushes. He leads the team in rushing yards. It's a gadget play kind of offense that can trick you if you're not ready for it.
And on the Highland side of things, on offense, the most important position on the field, at quarterback, we've got a shakeup. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, sir. The starting quarterback tonight is Kalen Fisher, number 9. Coming in for Joseph Walter. After the bye week this past week, Highland underwent a quarterback battle following some offensive struggles throughout the year, and Kalen Fisher won the job. He's a pro-style quarterback. He can run if he has to. It's his first ever varsity game. We'll see what he's got.
Right, Fisher just a sophomore. And on the offensive side of the ball, still good game for him to get welcomed in, because this Desert Vista team has had a real hard time stopping the Highland, a pretty potent ground game. So if they can ground and pound, get through this one, get the clock moving on offense as well, we think Highland should be in good shape. He's Scott Sanduli. I'm Jack Loader. Kickoff just minutes away from Highland High School here in Gilbert.
Brock Farrell and his guys have been knocking on the door for the last several years. For the first time in school history, the Highland Hawks are state champions with a 31-10 win over Chaparral in the 6A title.
Yeah, I wear my chain to the game, but for the game, I sip champagne from the World Cup. Oh yeah, I'm here to stir shit up. I pray on the hill in Brazil to Christ the Redeemer, but most kids worship us. I'm just warming up. I'm almost ready. Turn it up a bit more and have fun. Check me out, dog. Look. It's cops to dodge in the city of God to reach the goals of these soccer stars. It's records to break, medals to take, flags to wave, the city of stars, it's hills to climb, the road winds, only lights is those from a beamer. It's nice to pray in front of Christ the Redeemer. If your guy is bigger than my guy up there, my guy bigger than your guy down here, whom shall I fear? It's foretold by Colorado, most Bronx tales don't end well, especially when your own country treats you like an infidel. It's eyes that need inswell, don't box me into a corner eye, float like a butterfly, sting like Muhammad Ali. On training day I go too hard, ask Antoine.
Follow you into the jungle.
If you've enjoyed watching this Highland Hawks defense as much as we have through the first 5 weeks of the season, you'll enjoy Cam Minor's next interview with Cody Collimore.
Cameron Minor down on the field with kicker Crew Crockett. Crew, you just told me that you had your 100th varsity point score. How does that feel?
It was great. We had a good week last week. Tough loss, but we're going to bounce back and just keep rolling.
You know, during the week, I think a lot of people don't know what goes into being a kicker. What do you do during practices to prepare yourself for Friday Night Lights?
We do a lot. We stretch a lot. We kick. Like, it's kind of hard to go 4 or 5 hour practices and kick the whole time. So sometimes we go over, cheer on the teammates, snap footballs to the quarterbacks, whatever. But try to be a good teammate, but also get working at the same time.
And being a kicker is one of those positions where nobody kind of notices unless it's not working. So when things aren't going as good for you, what do you kind of do to lock in when you go out there on that field?
I think resetting is like a big part, because if you have a bad week, you got to wash it out, restart, come back the next week working hard, and just make everything better again.
And at this point in your career, do you think you still get nervous, like when you go out there to go for a kick, or is it kind of all the same at this point?
Yeah, no, I get nervous for sure, but like kind of like offense, like first drive, and then it kind of goes away. Like I get out, I kick 1 or 2 extra points, then I'm good for the rest of the game, but for sure get nervous for sure.
And then last question for you, pretend it's a tie game. Coach wants to kick a field goal. What's the farthest you could be that you would feel comfortable from to kick a field goal?
Probably inside of 50 yards, like 45. I made a 45-yard field goal last week in the game, so anywhere in there is probably pushing it, but I'm comfortable.
Sounds good. Well, best of luck to you tonight.
Thank you.
Back to you guys up top.
We're going back down to Cameron Minor one more time. He's with Coach Willis.
Cameron Minor on the field with Cody Cullimore. Cody, you guys are coming off of a nice fall break. How was that? What did you do during your fall break?
Oh, it was nice. Went on a little vacation with the family. Got away from football for a little bit. Now we're back.
You went on vacation. Where'd you go?
We went to New York City, actually.
Okay, I've been in New York. It's a nice place. So what are some things you got to do now that you're back locked in, back on the field, Friday Night Lights? What are some things you have to do on the defensive end to help your team come away with a victory?
Yeah, just trying to make sure everyone's focused because we came off a break, so we don't want to come off slow. Desert Vista, they're going to be a good, tough team, and so making sure that everyone's ready to go and staying focused. So.
And then you guys were coming off of a heartbreaking loss. What was that kind of morale like during practice, and how do you guys just get back to the next one?
I mean, we played a good game, man, but just wanting vengeance. I mean, that was a tough loss, but that just is pushing us more because we know what we can do, and we're not going to settle until we can beat those top teams, so.
Yeah. And then I see you guys have some new people that are coming into the game on both the defensive and the offensive end. What was that like at practice, and how were you just kind of trying to be a leader out there?
Yeah, I mean, just teaching them the culture and environment of Highland, but, I mean, we got some dogs that are playing now, and so I'm excited to see them play. I mean, it's been fun having them on the field with us at practice, so.
All right, for sure. We look forward to seeing what you guys are going to do. Best of luck out there.
Thanks, man.
Test.
We're going back down to Cameron Miner one more time. He's with Coach Willis.
Cameron Miner back on the field with Coach Willis. Coach, you guys are coming off of a fall break. What did you guys do this week basically just to get your team back into that mindset for the game?
Just stay focused, one play at a time, one practice at a time. We just stayed with the routine. We didn't change nothing up. We practiced.
I've been to a lot of the games by now. I've seen you with the players. You guys are very close, very comfortable, very personable. What would you say that relationship is like, just teaching these boys on and off the field?
Man, the relationship is amazing. With me, I feel like relationship is everything. When you have a relationship with a player, that player now, it's easy for that player to do what you ask him to do. So, I think that's one of my biggest things about me is relationship, like building relationships. So that's what it is. And
you're repping the brand right now. I personally know what it means just from our conversations, but you just want to let everybody knows what OWTK means and for the team and for you.
OWTK means outwork the known. So when you outwork the known, the job is never finished. So it's a mindset that turns to a lifestyle. So that's what we're trying to do here at Highland, is just outwork the known. The people that's in front of us, we just outwork them. Then when we get there, we just continue to work.
And then last question for you. What are some things that you guys need to do on the defensive end to come away with a victory today?
Score. The score. I think that's the only thing we haven't done yet is score. And it's a complete package after that.
All right, well, I hope to see you at Pick 6. Good luck to you, Coach. Appreciate you.
Welcome to Highland High School, where tonight we are playing football again after a bye week. Highland coming off a tough loss at the hands of Hamilton. Scott Sanduli alongside me. I'm Jack Loader, and tonight we've got a good one on tap. It's Highland versus the Desert Vista Thunder. Desert Vista comes in struggling a little bit. They're in a bit of a down year. Highland also on a bit of a down slope after winning the state title last year. They come in at 3-2. Hello? You got me? Yep. Lewis, hello. We're live. We are live. So a little behind the scenes look inside the booth here as we get ready for kickoff. Just had a dazzling performance by the Desert Vista Marching Band. Both teams getting set to take the field, and we'll be playing football here in a little under 5 minutes. As I mentioned, I'm not sure if we were live when I did mention this, but that's Scott Sanduli. I'm Jack Loader. We are the voices of your Highland Hawks.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to play football tonight in Gilbert.
Indeed, we are. Coming off a bye week, these Highland Hawks are fired up. We can see even over there by the inflatable tunnel, they're ready to come out of there with some fire. They had Hamilton on the ropes 2 weeks ago, one of the best teams in the state every year, and they took a very tough loss, a game that they very easily could have won that got away from them. They're going to come out looking for some vengeance against the Desert Vista team that's been having some trouble here early on in the season. 1-4 to get started for the Thunder this year. And they've allowed 191 points. The Hawks looking to tally that mark up.
Scott, last year, losses to Hamilton, Chandler, and Basha, the top 3 teams in the state, ultimately kept Highland out of the open playoffs. They repeat that fate against Hamilton. They played them close, though. Safe to say, Highland can't really afford another loss if they want to get in that open bracket, given their out-of-state loss earlier this year. Maybe a loss to Saguaro or down the road against Chandler in November could still get them in, but they've definitely used up a lot of their margin for error here as we approach the midway point of October.
Yeah, and there's been some growing pains on the team that's allowed that to happen. Obviously, losing Gage Daly at quarterback has been a massive blow to this Hawks team, and Joe Walters had some trouble kind of gearing this offense back on the track. But the loss outside of the state does not factor into their open ranking, fortunately for the Hawks, so that loss is essentially scrubbed. But the Hamilton loss still is there and is still is valid. And with games with Saguaro and Chaparral down the road, the path is not going to get any easier. And going to Pinnacle, they're having a very nice season with Deuce Robinson and Elijah Page over there. it's a tough road down the stretch for Highland, but I talked to Cody Cameron this week of Arizona Rivals, and he said it's not over. The Highland Open bid is not over, but they're going to need quite the run here just to even get a 7 or 8 seed, considering how stacked that field is going to be this year.
Scotty, to be the best, you got to beat the best, as the old saying goes. And in this gauntlet of the schedule in the East Valley, the SEC West of Arizona high school football, you're going to get tested. So Highland and Desert Vista approaching midfield are the captains as we get set for the coin toss.
Captains tonight are Gage Wilcock, Joseph Walter, Gunnar Riggs, and Cole Matthew.
Brock Farrell likes to switch it up a little bit.
Excuse me, not Cole Matthew. Brigham Stewart. My eyes deceive me with the numbers. The teal blends in with the black uniforms just a little too much from this kind of distance. Talked about in the open a little bit, Jack, but Highland going with a new quarterback tonight. It's Kalen Fisher. It's going to get the starting reps for Highland following 5 weeks of Joseph Walter. And they had that bye week. They had a quarterback battle according to the team, and out of it successfully came Kalen Fisher.
Right, we were talking.
He has not played a single varsity game in his career. What a way to get thrown into it, starting the second half of the season now.
We were talking to athletic director Brandon Larson, who mentioned that this competition was truly open. The job was up for grabs, and the sophomore came out of it on top. And that's not an easy thing. That means, what that tells me, Scott, is that he really truly won it, because if it were close, if it were a toss-up, you kind of go with the experience and the senior leadership. But Fisher did his job. He's a sophomore, just 15 years old. Going to make his first varsity start tonight.
Absolutely.
Big in front of a big crowd. We've seen bigger here at Highland, but they're still filing in from the parking lot.
Yeah, it's a good team to start out against with Desert Vista. They're off to a start 1-4, having a lot of trouble on defense. They've allowed 191 points on the year, like I said. The run game stopping has been an issue. I expect to see a lot of Carson Molyneux tonight and Jay Martin on the ground, maybe even 40, 50 times. Really a physical game, just a classic Highland game is what they need to play.
Yep.
Just keep it on the ground and punch them in the mouth on defense, and they're going to be just fine.
You're exactly right, Scott. And the new quarterback will be wearing number 9 in teal.
Mark that down for your score sheets.
Desert Vista is going to start with the ball. So Highland won the toss, deferred their decision to the second half. Brock Farrell wants his defense to get started and get going on this sideline. So it'll be Crew Crockett to kick it away.
Desert Vista rocking a little bit of a away Notre Dame unis right here with some white and gold. Let's see if they'll have the luck of the Irish or the luck of the Lightning in their case. They're fired up in Highland. We are back in Gilbert after the bye week. The second half of the season starts now.
Kick is away. It is deep. It is going to be not taken out. It's a touchback. So Desert Vista will start at its own 20-yard line.
And coming out, the signal caller of the Desert Vista Thunder is going to be Braxton Thomas, the junior, 6'3", 210, big kid, 9 passing touchdowns on the year.
Scotty, give us a few names to look for on this Desert Vista offense.
Well, it begins and ends with Rowan Martinez, a wide receiver, junior, 6'2", 185. He's a big kid for his age, and he moves that field very, very well. He's been a tough guy to stop for sure. Leads the team in receiving yards with almost 80 a game and receiving touchdowns with 5.
Desert Vista starts with Braxton Thomas in the gun. He's alone in the backfield. Highland defense in a 3-4 set. Now they shift and drop 2 linebackers down the line of scrimmage.
Getting an audible here, a little bit of motion.
Thomas puts a man in motion, takes the snap, swings it to the motion man who's got a little bit of room to run. Cuts upfield, gets about 5 yards before he's met and dropped. So a solid gain on first down for Desert Vista.
Yeah, he had Michael Allison there on a bit of a jet route. Allison, like we talked about in the open, kind of plays the Debo Samuel role of this Desert Vista offense, leading the team in rushing yards, but being a designated wide receiver, they get him in the pass game, they get him in the run game. He leads the team in touchdowns. Definitely a guy to have an eye on for this Highland defense.
Thomas takes the shotgun snap. He's looking to pass again. Will throw it out wide to no one in particular. Caught on the Highland sideline. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4.
It looked like a broken play right off the snap. Wanted to make sure that the pass rush didn't have a chance to really develop, just getting it away. But Zeke Naltu kind of had a look at that, went right over his head. Might have had a chance to pick it, but it was a little more underthrown.
Thomas in the gun to his right. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff, now throws over the middle, got a man, passes cut, and now dropped. They're going to say incomplete. Receiver had it for a moment and had 1st down yardage, but it falls incomplete, and Highland's going to take over via the punt.
About a 5-yard slant route right there from Barrett Reginald, and just he was right there at lost base. Just couldn't hold on to the rock, and Desert Vista 3-and-out, perfect start for this Hawks defense.
I'd say if you were going to tell me a 3-and-out would be the product of the first drive, I would not have been surprised the way this Highland defense has played, and given the struggles of the Desert Vista offense, so they'll punt it away. Back deep to receive the kick for Highland. It's Cole Crandall, and the punt is blocked! And it's going to make its way towards midfield. Nearly getting all of it was the punt rush, but just glanced off the hand of the rusher.
That was quite the punt rush right there by Highland. And it looks like that was
Cooper Scott.
Yeah, Cooper Scott, the defensive end getting down there.
The Swiss Army knife?
Yeah, coming off on the edge. It looks like he just grazed off of him. He didn't get the full contact to it. They were swatted right back into the ground, but the distance of the putt definitely negated.
So here we go. Kalen Fisher varsity debut. They're going to make him wait another moment. He's in the shotgun. Carson Milano in the backfield behind him. He's got 2 receivers out right and 1 out left.
Be very shocked not to see Carson Milano get this ball right here, Jack.
The referees are stopping the game for some reason. And we're ready to go. Now another delay.
Quick substitution, it looks like, by the Thunder. Yeah, that's what's going on here. A little bit of defensive confusion for the white and gold.
I don't know why they're allowing them to willy-nilly substitute, but nonetheless, Fisher's ready for his first varsity snap. He's got it. And the give goes to Milano up. No, he keeps it, and he's dropped in the backfield. Fooled me on the fake. Did not fool the Desert Vista defense. So a forgettable first play for Kalen Fisher.
Very surprised not to see that ball go to Carson Milano, but Blackjack Brad trying to pull some play action. Maybe he thought Desert Vista was thinking the same thing we were, but Kalen Fisher, it wasn't even his blind side. It was just coming right at him where the ball was, just couldn't react in time, and he hits the ground. Welcome to varsity, kid.
I'm surprised to see a pass play on first down, Scott.
As was I.
He takes the snap, and it's going to be another pass. This time the swing pass is caught in the flat. Cutting upfield is Brigham Stewart. Number 12. No, excuse me, that's number 16, Greg Toller. Gets back near the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
Greg Toller, one of the highly touted receivers of this group, just a sophomore. Brock Farrell raved about him preseason, trying to establish some chemistry with Fisher early. Toller tied for the team lead in receiving touchdowns, by the way, Jack, with 1.
With one. So on 3rd and 9, Fisher's going to drop back, throws over the middle, got a man, cut! It's Joseph Walter. So, wow, backup quarterback to original starting quarterback.
Yeah, Alabama used to run that back in 2018 with Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts. Looks like Miss Brock Farrell's been watching a little bit.
Highland wants to go. They give up the middle. They give it to Chance Coffin, who runs right. And pushing the pile is Coffin into the second level. He's got first down yardage and more.
That was going back to that play by Kalen Fisher. That was a very good pass. Joseph Walter with very good route running, getting himself into a little pocket, and Fisher got him the ball. It's a great way to respond to losing the starting job.
Another handoff. This one goes right. It's Milano. Tries to hurdle a man after picking up about 8. Flags fly. He's going to get flagged for that. You can't do that in high school. So a mental error by Carson Molino after a nice run. It's all going to be wiped out if the flag is indeed for what we think it is. Referees discussing.
Really nice boundary run regardless, getting himself seeing that open space and getting there.
We'll get a verdict here in just a moment. Personal foul on the offense, so
back it up.
It is a costly penalty.
Gonna send the Hawks back near the Desert Vista 30 now. It'll be 1st and 16. See what kind of play call the Hawks go with.
Molino in the backfield. Under center is Fisher. He gives to the motion man, who runs right and cups upfield, has a little space. Picks up a nice gain of about 5 yards. It'll make it second down and about 12. It's Cody Collimore on the carry.
Interesting to see Cody Collimore being used on the offense. He is listed on the depth chart as both as a defensive back and a running back. It's the first time we've really seen him on the offensive side of the ball.
Brock Farrell's going to empty the clip when it comes to getting his guys the ball. Fisher under center again. Molino in the backfield. Turns and gives to him. Up the middle goes Molino. Charging ahead. Near first down yardage. He's going to be just short. 3rd and 1, just inside the 14.
How about that job right there by the Highland offensive line? The A gap was cleared out. Beautiful, beautiful blocking. Just inviting Molino. Go straight up the gut, man.
Nice job in the middle. Luka Tuase and the rest of that offensive line.
It's Jay Martin in the backfield for this one.
Fisher under center. 3rd down and a long one. Turn, the give goes up the middle. He's going to get met near the line of scrimmage, and I'm not sure he got it. Might have gotten yardage just on the final spin there. It'll either be 4th and very short or 1st and 10 just outside the Desert Vista 10. They will not move the chains. They're going to say he's about a yard short. So
looks like it was Antonio Pietro Delgado that got in there to rip him down. Leading man on this Desert Vista defense. 11 tackles per game.
The spot favorable to the Thunder, and we got a whistle pre-snap as Highland was trying to get up to the line. Desert Vista takes a timeout. They're going to get charged with 12 men on the field.
Yeah, they had Highland had Chance Coffin, the power back, in looking to just pound that 1 yard. Maybe Desert Vista needed an extra second to be prepared for that.
During the timeout, we'd like to thank Tight Seal. With over 10 years of experience and some of the best applicators in the industry, Tight Seal is ready to deliver on any project. If you're a high-end custom builder, production builder, or commercial builder, their team has experience with it all. There's no better home insulating material that can seal your home from air and moisture intrusion, save on costly utility bills, strengthen your home, and protect your family's health from dangerous mold, airborne pollutants, and allergens that spray foam insulation. Tight Seal, 10 years of experience working for you. Thank you, Tight Seal, for sponsoring this broadcast in Highland Hawks football.
It'll be a 4th and short here, deep in Desert Vista territory, and Brock Farrell will leave the offense out here, looking to really send that message to Desert Vista that the Hawks are not messing around tonight.
Just over 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. No score. Highland driving. 4th and 1. Brock Farrell keeping his offense on the field. And it's going to be a give up the middle. Then 1st down yardage and more. So a bit of an interesting formation for Highland. No for the defense.
They keep the wrecking ball in. Chance Coffin, he does exactly what he's supposed to. Right up the gut, take guys with you. And we're looking at a 1st and goal now for the Hawks, their first of the game.
Coffin, really a bowling ball. He's been known as that short yardage back. Not surprised to see him in there, but a little surprised at the formation nonetheless. The ball does go to 24. Now the Highland offense attentively looks towards the sideline for the play call. Fisher jogs back. He'll be in the shotgun. Got a running back to his right. She drops back, throws over the middle, end zone. Passes incomplete, just falls shy. So Fisher got a good look, but a nice pass breakup and the pass a little bit low. Could not find Mason Sparks in the end zone.
Yeah, Mason Sparks, the intended receiver, on a bit of a slant route from the slot. And he kind of stumbled a little bit as he entered the end zone and just couldn't get to the ball in time, couldn't recover his balance.
Fisher back under center. Second and goal from the Desert Vista 7. Takes a snap, turns. The give is to the left. Cutting back up through a touchdown. Highland just getting in the end zone. A nice run play off left guard. Great push from Highland.
And Jay Martin making the touchdown run right there, Jack. And
Jay Martin getting in.
Yeah, he fought off the shoestring tackle right off the line. Maneuvered through the open field, followed his blockers, and went in. Great run there by the second stringer.
Crew Crockett on for the extra point. A meticulous scoring drive for Highland. They get the 3 and out. They come down and score a touchdown, and Crew Crockett, good as gold down the middle on the PAT. 7-0 Hawks. As they'll give the ball back to the Thunder.
It's a very, very Highland Hawks-esque start to the game there, Jack. Coming out on defense, forcing that 3 and out, and pounding the rock all the way down to the end zone. That's how they went. They've won their games in the past. And off to a good start here, coming off of an extra week.
Bit of a sparse student section tonight, Scott. We've seen bigger.
I mean, we're just coming off a fall break. Maybe everyone's still out having a good time.
Perhaps.
With these Hawks players having a good time on the sidelines so far, but they know the job is nowhere near finished.
Preston Bryce to kick it away for Highland. And he does boot it deep, headed towards the goal line. Will be fielded right at the goal line and taken out by Desert Vista. Return man running left. He won't make it back to the 20. He is stood up by a host of Highland defenders.
Tackle on the play by number 33, Eli Kirby.
Good play there by Eli Kirby to bring him to the ground. He kind of almost overshot him a little bit, but was able to kind of latch onto his waist and give him a little German suplex to the ground.
We'll see Braxton Thomas and this Desert Vista offense try to get something going. They went 3 and out on their first drive.
Yeah, this Highland team is not one you want to fall behind against. And they've already seen that happen to them, 7-0. They need to keep this game as close as they can, because allowing Highland to get a lead is a recipe for bad news in Gilbert.
Thomas in the gun. Takes the snap, drops back to pass, looking sideline. He's got a completion. Be a solid pickup on first down. That one goes to Barrett Reginald.
Quick little curl route there by Mr. Reginald. Gets him a nice 5 or 6 yards. Not enough to move the chains. Actually, is enough to move the chains, excuse me. Alone in the backfield. 3 receivers stacked to the left, 1 on the right.
Drops back to pass, looking sideline. Got a man. They're going to say that pass is completed as well. So moving nicely is Desert Vista.
Yeah, about a 5-yard out route right there to Rowan Martinez. We talked a lot about him. So he is the go-to guy of this Thunder offense. And there's his first appearance of the night, looking to make much more.
Thomas back in the gun. Highland hitting out of blitz. The run will go up the middle off right guard, and Highland snuffs it out. No gain on second down.
C-gap closed on that run right there. No room there for number 5, Mr. Michael Allison, to find a way out. Desert Vista is going to go back to empty backfield here on 3rd and relatively short.
3rd and 4. It's the same down and distance they had when they went 3 and out on their first drive. Highland defensive line showing all kinds of stunts. Now they drop 3 linebackers. Thomas takes the snap. Draws back to pass, looking over the middle. He's got a man, and bobbled and incomplete. And Desert Vista will face a 4th down again. And it looks like they'll bring the punt team on once more.
Intended receiver there was Jackson Sanders, the senior, his first target of the night. And again, like last drive, put it pretty much right to him. Just couldn't hold on to it with the impending Hawks flying in for the tackle.
So 2 3-and-outs for the Highland defense. They'll give the ball back to the offense.
Really couldn't ask for a better start through 3 drives if you're the Hawks right now, Jack.
Snap is good. Caught away just in front of another violent rush. Walter takes it. He's going to run right. Got some room to run upfield. He's out to midfield. They're going to cut towards the Desert Vista sideline. All the way inside the Thunder 45. It's Cole Crandall.
He'll get to about the 45 right there. So about 20 yards there on the return. We're going to get a penalty flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
See what this one's about. Highland indicating that it might be coming back a little bit, maybe an illegal block.
We'll wait on the verdict. Referees love to take their time talking about this. Make sure the spotlight's on them for their moment.
They want their airtime too.
Of course. Still no. Looks like Highland will be set up around where the return ended. And Highland's getting backed up all the way back. So a holding call. 2 personal fouls. Hard to get information up to the booth quick. We hear the PA. So wipe out that long return.
A little bit of wasted gas there from Cole Crandall. Will give Kalen Fisher a chance to really impress Brock Farrell and this Highland coaching staff. So he's got to really engineer his first true downfield drive.
Under center is Fisher. Molyneux in the backfield. Turns to give this to Molyneux, who makes a cut in the backfield. Moves upfield, still on his feet. Carson Molyneux with a nice push. He's got about 15 yards on first down after nearly being bottled up in the backfield.
Breaking a couple tackles, taking a few men with him.
Ball came out at the end of the run. Either he was ruled down or Highland jumped on it. Either way, still Hawk ball.
Great work there by Carson Molyneux. We've seen him get physical and really drag dudes down the field. That was him at his best right there.
Fisher getting the play from the sideline. Now they're ready. Jay Martin is the running back to Fisher's left. Now he splits him out in motion and brings him back across the formation. Fisher takes the snap. He's going to drop back and pass. Protection's good. He's going deep over the middle. Short, and pass falls incomplete. A good throw would have been a huge gain to Malloy Hess, but the sophomore signal caller was just short over the middle.
Yeah, looking over there for Malloy Hess on a bit of a post route. He had a step on his defender, Rylan Dillard Allen, but ball just a little underthrown. And the chance goes by the wayside.
So 2nd down and 10. Highland at its own 40. Fisher takes his time getting the play call. 5 yards deep in the shotgun. Molyneux to his right. And pre-snap whistles. We're going to get a Highland Hawks timeout. Brock Farrell did not like what he saw.
The play clock was winding down just a little bit too.
We'd like to thank United States Welding. Established in 1960, United States Welding Corporation has become the leading manufacturer of ultra-clean, high-performance welding wire for the aircraft and land-based turbine engine overhaul markets. U.S. Welding stocks over 150 different welding alloys in most common diameters. They have been serving the aerospace, defense, and energy industries since 1960, and we've been serving this Highland broadcast since tonight. United States Welding. Thank you so much for your support.
Second and 10 here, 4:18 to go in the quarter. Might want to see a little bit, another chance at a downfield shot on third down should they not convert here, maybe take another run with Molyneux. As it looked like they just tried that with Sparks, but an underthrown ball. Trying to catch the Desert Vista team off guard, even though they are susceptible to the run.
Second and 10. Fisher takes the snap, toss back in the face of pressure, dumps it over the middle. It passes caught. It's going to end up being a gain of about 4 or 5. The band did not get the memo to stop playing during that snap.
Looked like almost a direct screen, not even a slip screen right there by Kalen Fisher. It looks like he was looking to the right for Mason Sparks, didn't have him. Looking to the left, didn't have anyone open over there, just took what was right in front of him. Smart play by the rookie.
Fisher in the gun. Third down and 6. Looks to the sideline. He's got the call he likes.
Greg Toller's got a lot of space on the left side.
It's a snap. The handoff goes inside. Cutting up field and having a first down is Jay Martin. Carson Molyneux, excuse me.
Brock's fooling us up here. He's giving us Carson Molyneux, then Jay Martin, then going right back. Both have been very effective thus far.
It is Molyneux remaining in the backfield right now. To the right of Fisher, who takes the shotgun snap. Chops back to pass, fakes the handoff. He's going to move upfield and throw into traffic. Incomplete.
At that point of the play,
Receivers down. It's going to be Malloy Hess who's shaken up. He took a big hit right as the ball kind of came into that window, and he's going to be down on the field.
At that point of the play, Kalen Fisher had juked out the rush off the edge. He kind of had some room to kind of take off on his own. We've been told that he's more of a pro-style quarterback that can run when he had to. Now it looks like a possible situation where he could have, but passes it up.
While Hess is down and being attended to, we'd like to thank Weech Financial. Weech Financial focuses on tax and accounting services, which allows them to provide superior service in those areas without being distracted by the time demands of other service areas such as audit and review that would otherwise divide their attention. Weech Financial strongly believes that proper tax planning in advance produces results far superior to after-the-fact tax preparation services that are all too common among other accountants today. Weech Financial, thank you for supporting Highland Hawks football and this broadcast. Boy, Hess is still down. Coach Brock Farrell's out there.
You got
a considerable amount of pain. Looks like he's going to try to get up.
Got kind of sandwiched a little bit on that route where the ball fluttered away. I think not going to assume anything, just shaking up, maybe the wind taken out of him or a little bit of ringing in the ears. But either way, walking off under his own power, very, very much a good sign.
Right you are, Scott. I think you're exactly right. He probably had the wind knocked out of him by the way he kind of tried to get up initially and then rolled over, spent a minute. It'll be second down and 10, just over 3 minutes remaining in the opening quarter here in Gilbert.
Hawks are taking a lot of the play clock up tonight. We're down to 10 seconds on this one, and they're just getting to the line.
Fisher in the gun, looks for the snap, now he's got it, hands to Molyneux who runs left, cuts upfield, running with friends out to about the 43-yard line of Desert Vista. He gets to within 4 yards of the first down on second.
Good room there to run for Molyneux. Great blocking again by the left side. Caleb Lomu moving his defender very well.
Fisher looking to the sideline, wants the play call. As you mentioned earlier, Scott, Highland using up a lot of that play clock.
I don't know if it has something to do with Kalen Fisher's first game. I don't know if this is just Brock Farrell's game plan elevated.
Things do not look comfortable offensively right now for Highland. We're not accustomed to seeing this, but with a quarterback change, could be natural, and we get a whistle. Something thrown off the field. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll move along.
Maybe a rip towel or something.
Snap is low. Fisher fields. He takes a rush going deep. He is picked off. It's intercepted by Desert Vista, headed back the other way. That's Rylan Dillard out on the free safety, picking off the sophomore quarterback. He returns it all the way to midfield. And a play that was doomed from the start ends up in the worst way for Highland, and Desert Vista is going to have a short field to take over. The first true mistake we've seen from the young quarterback, Scott.
No one's perfect, Jack. Everyone's going to have a mistake here and there. And for Kalen Fisher, there was his first one. And it wasn't even totally his fault. He got a low snap, got a little flustered with the pass rush coming right at him, had to get rid of the ball before taking a sack, and he had a one-on-one downfield, just a little bit underthrown. And unfortunately, it's going to go the Desert Vista way. And I think we might have gotten a little extracurricular activity on Desert Vista. It's going to put them further back.
Another personal foul backs up this Desert Vista team. That's a huge penalty. It's a 20-yard penalty.
Yeah, Dillard Allen was having some fun after the interception. Maybe the referees didn't like it.
So the Thunder take over at their own 30. Thomas in the shotgun.
Another empty set.
He drops back to pass, looking, got a man. Little screen pass, fooling no one in black. Gain of about a yard on first down.
It wasn't really his best read. He had Michael Allison by his lonesome really on the near sideline. And that's a guy that can really turn on the jets and get downfield, but didn't even really look his way, just went straight left. And not much gain when he could have had a lot more. Braxton Thomas with a missed opportunity right there.
Thomas back in the shotgun, takes the snap. Bit of a delay, hands up the middle into a sea of Highland defenders. No gain there, probably a loss of a yard or two. It's going to set up third and long for Desert Vista.
Might be the first natural run play we've seen from Desert Vista thus far, and Highland showing them what happens when you try to run on them. Absolutely stuffed. Thanksgiving coming a little early.
Exactly, they've been pass heavy. Just over a minute left in the first quarter. Two receivers out right for Thomas, who's facing a 3rd down and 11. Directing traffic now, takes the snap, drops back to pass, rolls right. He will tuck and run. He's got some room, goes up the field and dives forward for first down yardage. A beautiful run from Braxton Thomas on 3rd and long. He moves the chains.
Face pressure there in the backfield, does exactly what you're supposed to do, get away from it. Braxton Thomas had a lot of room in the middle of the field, but the linebackers cleared out from 4 wideouts. Just takes what he's given, moves the chains.
Love to see that from your quarterback, embracing contact and keeping the drive alive. So 1st and 10 for Desert Vista, just beyond their own 40. Thomas puts a man in motion. Takes the snap, drops back to pass immediately. Pressure in his face, forces a low throw, and it hits the turf. Incomplete.
Couldn't tell if that was tipped or not by the Highland edge rusher, but definitely affected Thomas's ability to get that ball where it needed to go, and just skips into the hands of the wide receiver, hitting the ground first. Incomplete.
So 2nd and 10 from the 42. The handoff goes out left, and Highland allowing nothing on the ground tonight, Scott.
And Michael Allison there to the left side, looking for a bit of a halfback lead.
Brigham
Stewart flying in from the outside, sitting that man down.
So 3rd down and 9, another 3rd and long as the first quarter runs down.
And we got a jump here, Jack. I think this is going to go against the Hawks.
Either a jump or the end of the quarter. It's 0.1 seconds remaining, so naturally we'll have a 5-minute delay here.
And they're going to run it out.
And that is the end of the first quarter. Highland 7, Desert Vista 0. We're going to go down to the sideline and check in with Cameron Miner, who's got an update on the injured Malloy Hess.
At the end of the first quarter, Highlands was able to come out to a quick 7-0 lead. Now, there's been a lot of changes, especially on the offensive end. It's been no secret as we approach the middle of the season. The offense was really trying to get over that hump. I think Coach Farrell took it upon himself that in a game like this to really just make some change. A lot of new faces at the quarterback position, tight end position, and running back. But with that, it's going to come a couple hiccups. But I think if Highlands just figures it out, they should be set. And I think going into next week, it'll give them that momentum they need going to the end of the season.
All righty, thank you, Cam. Desert Vista will be facing 3rd down and 9 to begin the second quarter of this ball game.
And they're going to flip to the other side of the field as well. Maybe they'll give them some better fortunes following what was a rough first quarter trying to move the ball.
Desert Vista will work from the left hash.
You're going to want 2 guys on Rowan Martinez right here. That's all Braxton Thomas is going to be looking for.
3rd and 9. Highland fans making themselves heard. Referees are going to stop things.
Helping out the wide receiver on the near side, keeping him on sides.
Dropping back to pass is Thomas, who swings it out right. Got an open man with some blockers. Going to get close to first down yardage. I think he's a little short. It'll be 4th and about a half yard. No, they're going to move the chains. No, they're not. Excuse me.
It was about 5 wide right there, Jack, and only one guy didn't go deep. Now it's Ian Jimenez going for the bubble screen on the short right side and makes the catch and turns upfield, but he got leveled just inches short of the first down, and Desert Vista is going to go for it.
4th and about a foot. Just over midfield at Desert Vista. They set up at the Highland 48. Thomas from the gun on 4th and short. Checks with the sideline.
Plenty of time on the play clock. Maybe they'll look to get a jump here.
He takes the snap. Drops back to pass. Looking short. Middle. Got a man. Got a first down. And more. Big hit at the end of the play. But making the catch is Michael Allison and moving the chains.
Yeah, good play there by Allison. Kind of went out 2-3 yards, turn around, nice short curl route, making the catch, and then kind of bubbling around the defenders incoming and get a couple more yards. That's good route running and good yards after catch by Sanders. Excuse me, Allison.
Desert Vista going a little up-tempo now. Thomas takes the snap. He's going to throw out right. He's got a man complete and brought down after a gain of about 4 yards. Ezekiel Nautu makes the stop. Ball carrier was Jackson Sanders. It's his first touch of the game.
Yeah, we've seen kind of teams like to go at Highland with these short little passes, like 4 or 5 yard curls or out routes. Desert Vista seems to have taken the note right here.
2nd and 6 now from the 37-yard line. Thomas takes the snap. He's going to look to pass again. He's got another man. And getting first down yardage before being brought out of bounds. And that's that man, Rowan Martinez. And he moves the chains.
Kind of working the sidelines now a little bit from Desert Vista. Seems like they might be finding a rhythm here on offense. Highland's got to shut that down as soon as they can.
Thomas in the gun. Takes a snap, gives up the middle to Allison, who gains a few yards before being stood up by a staunch wall of Highland defenders. Gain of 3 on first down. Be 2nd down and 7.
Desert Vista picking up yards now with more efficiency, more consistency as they get down towards the Highland end zone. So about 20-25 yards before they're in real trouble of allowing a score. But 5 wide again here for Desert Vista. It seems like they might have something going.
Thomas alone in the backfield. He drops back to pass. Now he escapes a pocket that's collapsing. Still with the ball in his hand. He's sacked. Dropped. by number 45. That's Cash Cullimore coming hot off the outside. Drops him for a loss. It's going to set up 3rd and long.
We talked to his brother earlier, but Cash now won a little bit of the spotlight, coming and getting the quarterback before he can take off and run. Big crunching play, and that could be a bit of a rhythm and momentum killer, as here comes the 3rd down for the Thunder.
3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line. Have to imagine they're a little bit outside of field goal range. Thomas back to pass. He floats one towards the sideline. Nobody there. Penalty flag flies. We might get a defensive pass interference against Highland. Could also be a pick pass foul against Desert Vista. We'll wait to see what we got.
That just looked like a classic route miscommunication. Very interested to see what we have for this flag.
It is defensive pass interference, and that'll move the chains and keep this drive alive. For Desert Vista, moves them all the way up to the 15. A spot foul.
Such a disciplined defense that doesn't take penalties. This is a very tough spot to take one for Highland, as now it's going to move Desert Vista within the red zone and back to a 1st down. Almost certainly in field goal range. Odds are good for Desert Vista to get themselves on the board. This Highland defense has made a living out of not allowing that.
And the gun is Thomas. Drops back to pass. Now he's going to go over the middle. He's got a lot of room to run. Up the middle goes Braxton Thomas. He's in for a Desert Vista touchdown. Parted the Red Sea, took advantage of it, and ran in untouched for the score.
Yeah, none of the linebackers were set as QB spies, and you really can't afford to do that anyway when you have 5 wide. It just leaves the entire middle of the field right there for Braxton Thomas. His blockers opened up the A-gap for him, just right up the gut. Take it right home, fella. And Desert Vista PAT from a tie game.
Well, Thomas scores from 15 yards out. The PAT from Desert Vista is up and good, and we are all tied up at 7 apiece with 8 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the opening half. So the first real forgettable drive for the Highland defense, Scott.
Well, shutouts aren't easy around here, and we saw the Superman performance they put on against Hamilton 2 weeks ago, and these Hawks still allowed 2 scores. So you can't get it all. You can't get them all, and they're still in a good position.
We'd like to thank the Mahoney Group. The Mahoney Group traces its roots to 1915, and over the last 100 years has emerged as one of the largest independent insurance and benefits brokerages in the nation. Their substantial growth has been driven by their focus on a number of specialties, including habitational, tribal, condominium, self-storage, single-family investment home, and pest control programs. The Mahoney Group recognizes their success comes from dedication, commitment, and involvement in the communities they serve, just like this one. Thank you, Mahoney Group, for sponsoring Highland Hawks football on this broadcast. Desert Vista will kick it away. Highland will receive a kickoff for the first time tonight. Back deep is Cole Crandall, Carson Molyneux. Return is caught just inside the 5. Switching the field, a little trickery from Highland. It seems like they might have something here. Crandall out past the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Cole Crandall still on his feet to the Desert Vista 45-yard line. A beautiful return from Highland.
How about the safety making a little run down the field, Jack? You know, Highland likes to do that handoff on the kickoff return. It worked wonders right there as they turned maybe it would have been a 25-yard return into almost a 60-yard return. Sitting pretty for Kalen Fisher. Highland does need to answer Desert Vista's touchdown drive.
Fisher takes the handoff in the gun and gives to Molyneux, who runs right, cuts upfield, has a nice gain on first down. He's going to be just shy of the sticks. With some good push on the offensive line for Highland. Puts them in a good spot of 2nd and short.
Picks up 8 yards there, right there. And again, the C-gap is working very well for Carson Molyneux thus far. He's got room on the edge of his tackles. He's using it.
Highland back in that kind of pseudo huddle mode where they all stand and look towards the sideline. The signals come from there. Fisher under center now at the 39. Takes a snap, turns and hands to Molyneux, who bobbles for a second. Now charges upfield. Near the marker, he's going to be marked just a bit shy. On 2nd and 3, picked up about 2.5. Bring up 3rd and short. Highland wants to hurry up. They don't want to let Desert Vista think about it too much.
Don't really see much of a hurry-up offense.
Whistle and a pre-snap penalty.
I was just going to say, we don't see too much of a hurry-up offense from Highland, and it comes back to bite them there. They're going to move back a little bit. A little too nasty
start. So a 3rd and 1 becomes a 3rd and 6 at the Desert Vista 41.
It turns a no-brainer running situation into a little bit of variety. Do you let Carson Mono do his thing? Do you air it out? Do you supply action? Brock Farrell has a lot of options here on 3rd and 6.
Fisher in the gun, fullback set left, Mono to his left. Fisher to pass, goes over the middle, got a man open. Ball comes out near the end of the play. No whistle yet. It's in the hands of Desert Vista and coming back the other way. The Thunder seem to think they have the ball. The referees agree, and this is another turnover. Now, whether it's an interception or a fumble, we don't know. But either way, as of now, it's Thunder football, and for the second drive in a row, Highland gives one away.
Looked like it might have been an incompletion. It was a bit of a vertical route with an in towards the field, and the catch was made pretty cleanly. I believe it was Greg Toller, but he gets taken to the ground. It's when he comes to the ground the ball pops out. So I'm not sure if he had those 2 steps required for him to become a runner before he lost the ball. I'm not sure if it was a fumble induced by the ground. This is one of those times where you really could use some replay review for high school football.
Yep, not at this level though, so what the refs say goes. And so they say Thunder football.
And Brock Farrell's upset about the call on the sideline. And rightfully so. It's a tough call to make in that situation.
Now we got a pre-snap whistle.
Had a couple of those so far tonight.
Ball's going to be spotted now back at Desert Vista's 37.
Going to be critical for Highland to keep this scoreboard where it is on this drive. You can't afford to let Desert Vista jump out in front because it's a team that can take advantage of you a little bit.
Now taking the snap is Thomas. He swings it out right to Allison, who makes a nice move. Picks up about 1.5 yards. Does not get back to the original line of scrimmage before the false start. So it'll be 2nd and long for Desert Vista.
Yeah, it's about the 5th or 6th time we've seen that bubble screen tonight, and surprised to see Highland not adjusted to it. You have a little more hard flat coverages.
Well, they are kind of adjusting. I think they're just okay with giving up 1 yard or 2 on 1st and 15 on that kind of play.
I don't know if that's the Brock Farrell we know, though. Will do anything to preserve his territory.
Thomas in the gun. Takes the snap. Now drops back to pass. He looks over the middle. Going to air it out. Into traffic and nearly intercepted. Zeke Natu had his eyes on it. Instead, it flies incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd down at about 13.
2 receivers in the area and 1 DB. There was some room there for Desert Vista. They could have had a real big play right there, but an errant throw. That could cost them.
So 3rd and 15. They look to the sideline. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Takes the snap, drops back to pass. Highland rush coming in hot. Dumps it off over the middle of Allison. Makes the man miss. And cuts upfield, still on his feet and getting enough for the first down. What a run by Michael Allison after the catch. Absorbs a lot of contact from a lot of black shirts. And he gets the first down. So another 3rd and long conversion for Desert Vista. They keep this drive alive.
Yeah, and they're starting to break some tackles and really, I don't want to say assert their dominance, but they're putting themselves on the physicality level that Highland usually plays so far above their opponents. And that's going to be key here for Desert Vista to maintain that competition.
All the way out to Highland's 47. They're across midfield. Thomas in the gun wants to snap. He's got it. Goes quick. Screen over to Allison. This time he's met and dropped behind the line for a loss. So Scott, Coach Farrell must have heard you. They sniffed that one out.
You can only run one play so many times before a good defense is going to snuff it out. And Cole McCleve was ready for that bubble screen, and he blew up Jackson Sanders. They lost a couple yards on that try.
Thomas takes the snap. It's a low one. The give goes out left to Allison, who runs and tries to get around the outside. He's got some friends. And a nice pickup on second down and long. Going to make it third down and very manageable, if not getting all of that yardage. They'll mark him about a yard short. So it'll be third down and 1. And another big chunk play for Michael Allison, who really has been hurting the Hawks tonight, Scott.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go horizontal to get vertical, and that's exactly what Allison did right there.
They're going to run it up the middle on third down. It's Allison again. He picks up enough for the first down inside the Highland 35.
Listed as a wide receiver, and he's starting to rack up those rushing yards tonight. Highland having some trouble containing him, especially on this drive. So again, Desert Vista trying to find that bit of a rhythm. And looks like they might have figured out something.
Inside 5 minutes and a half. Desert Vista not concerned with the clock.
He's
first down and 10 at the Highland 34.
4 wide, 5 wide sets again.
Thomas drops back to pass. Surprise, surprise. He's looking over the middle. Throws incomplete. And a flag flies in at the end of the play.
I think we're going to get a defensive holding there by Joseph Allen.
Allen with his arms outstretched. He knows what's coming, and he can't believe it.
Bit of a stutter step start off the line from the receiver. Looks like that was Traven Vigenzer. And Joseph Allen kind of gave him a little hold to keep him from getting over to midfield on a slant route. Fortunately for him, the refs were watching. Hawks defense really backed up against it here. They would not like to fall behind. We saw against Hamilton they struggled to get going again once they started trailing on the scoreboard.
Thomas takes the snap, looking to pass, scrambling out. Now he'll tuck it, and he'll keep it, and he'll be met near the line of scrimmage by a host of Highland defenders. Dropped at the 20-yard line, no gain on first down.
Just into the QB scramble, just like they had with the bubble screen. That was Thomas looking to get out to the right a little bit as all of his receivers were covered. May have even been a designed QB draw play, but Highland's linebackers had eyes on the quarterback, as they should. And Mr. Thomas going nowhere.
Back in the shotgun. 4 minutes remaining in the half. Now they'll take a step back and look towards the sideline for marching orders.
Another 4 wide set here.
Allison in the gun. Directing traffic. He's got a running back to his right. Now takes the snap. It's a low snap. The give goes up the middle. It's Allison. Minimal gain on second down. We're going to be seeing a third and pretty long.
And a nice wrap tackle right there by Brigham Stewart. Kind of got beat a little bit, but able to wrap his hands around the waist, whip that runner to the ground, and only surrender 1 or 2 yards. So now a third and long, 3rd and 9 to be exact. Coming up for Desert Vista. We'll see if they can convert it. And again, for Highland, you're going to want a QB spy right here, as Thomas has already converted a couple of 3rd and longs on his feet. Don't want to let him do that again.
3rd down and a long 8. 3 receivers outright. Thomas looking, now still looking. Protection's good. He rolls right, gets hit as he throws over the middle. Picked off. It's intercepted. And going back the other way, a minimal return. Highland takes over, and this defense comes up big. It's Chance Coffin.
How about Chance Coffin? He's been making plays on offense as the power back. He's been making tackles as the linebacker. Now he's taking the ball away. His first interception of the year, and the Hawks are in business. The defensive stand, they need it, and they get it.
So the Highland offense takes over at its own 14-yard line. A big-time momentum shift late in the first half. Fisher will give to Mono, who runs right, makes a man miss. Gets a nice chunk gain on first down out past the 20-yard line.
Good work there on the outside again. Highland using a lot of C-gap runs tonight, kind of working through their tackles, using some power runs.
2.5 minutes remaining in the half. Highland still got to go 80 yards.
Brock Farrell's got 2 timeouts in his pocket. Should be plenty of time.
Fisher under center now. Mono in the backfield. He takes the handoff, gives to Mono. Mono cuts upfield. Nearing first down yardage. He's got it. They're going to move the chains. A nice first down run by Carson Mono. That'll stop the clock momentarily until they reset the chains. He's out to the 26.
Desert Vista sent some pressure there, Jack, but Molyneux just too quick out of the backfield, blows right by it. Get himself a couple of yards and move the chains.
Inside of 2 minutes now. Highland wasting no time. Fisher in the gun, Molyneux to his left. They run it again. He's going right, and this time Desert Vista has it all stacked up. Molyneux fights for an extra yard or two after contact, but he's met just outside inside the 30-yard line. So clock continues to run. We're at 1:40 now. He's 2nd down and 7. Expect to see a little more urgency at this point, Scott.
Well, Brock Farrell runs a tight ship with his offense. It doesn't really matter the situation they get in. Slow and steady wins the race.
Mason
He's
Sparks
his pace.
alone up top. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a shot downfield here soon. Toller goes in motion across the formation. It's a fake handoff.
Deep ball.
Deep ball coming. There's that shot. He's got a man wide open. He overthrew him. So Fisher does, in fact, take that shot. He had Mason Sparks, who was up top. And instead of Nostradamus, I can only say 3rd and 7.
Post route right there from Mason Sparks, and he had a step. He had 2 steps really on his defender. Kalen Fisher showing off that arm a little bit, just a little too much under it, or it would have been 6. Now Highland will have to regroup and reattend to the play sheet.
So the incompletion stops the clock, but now Highland looking at a 3rd and 7. Another passing situation, but we've seen them pick up first downs on the ground in these type of situations. Sprinting right as Fisher throws over the middle into traffic. It's picked off! A big mistake from the sophomore quarterback. Desert Vista gets his 3rd interception of the ball game, and they'll take over with just over a minute left in the half in Highland territory.
It looked like Victor Sosa, the linebacker, jumping in to pick that one off. And Kalen Fisher, his first varsity game, there's going to be some butterflies. You're going to run into some mistakes, but 3 interceptions now and a couple of misplaced passes. It's kept Highland from really reaching their full potential in this game, in which it could be a Hawks lead, a comfortable one, but instead it's 7-7. Now Desert Vista is going to have a chance to take a lead into the half here.
A golden opportunity for Desert Vista. Taking the snap as Thomas throwing over the middle. He's got nothing. Well covered was Michael Allison. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball is spotted at the 38-yard line of Highland. So a couple late momentum shifts in the half, Scott. We saw Desert Vista in control, looking to go up at half. Then Highland's going to have a shot, and they give the ball right back. So 1 minute remaining in this second half.
Offense,
38 yards to go.
Hawks offense needing to lean on their defense again to bail them out. Something you might have thought could have been improved upon through the bye week, but still being the Achilles heel of the Hawks.
Back to passes Thomas. He's going to throw towards the Highland sideline. Incomplete. Great coverage by the Highland secondary.
Ezekiel Natsu right there.
He wanted Jackson Sanders. Nobody got a hand on the ball.
Hawks defense doing what it does when it needs to do it again, Jack. Faced up against their own zone, needing to keep the opponent off the board. They've done it all year, and so far they're doing it again.
3rd and 10. Thomas drops back to throw. Pocket collapsing. It's picked off by Highland and headed back the other way. No one in front of him. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Highland. It's Ezekiel Natu jumping the route and taking it all the way home for a Hawks touchdown. What a final 2 minutes of this half we've had. And Highland, it ends up laying the dagger.
Ezekiel Natu just has a knack for the big play. We saw it a couple of weeks ago. The game-winning interception in the end zone. And now tonight, coming up with the big pick 6, jumping the route just like you're taught to do. Take it all the way home. Highland, big play.
He's got 6 turnovers in the opening half, 4 of which have just come in the last 90 seconds of game time. Crew Crockett on for the extra point. He's going to try to put the Hawks back up 7. Still 40 seconds remaining in the half. Crockett is true. And Highland with another 7-point lead. So Braxton Thomas telegraphed that all the way. And a savvy defensive back like not to, didn't miss a beat, and as soon as he caught it, you knew. With the momentum he had and the short pass it was, he was taking that to the crib, as the kids say.
Absolutely, and Zeke Natsu, he's been the top DB for this team this year. Like I talked about, he had the game-winning interception at the wire against Brophy a couple of weeks ago, and now here he is up against their own zone, coming down towards the halftime with the opponent looking to take a halftime lead. He says, no, 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 give me that football, I'm taking it home. And Highland looked like they were going to go down 14-7. Instead, they're up 14-7.
And now they'll kick it away. I'm interested to see what, if anything, Desert Vista will choose to do with the last 40 seconds of this half. 43 seconds put on the clock.
They've been running 4 and 5 wideout sets, so they certainly have the capability and the willingness to take shots downfield. I'm not sure how eager you are to do that against this Highland defense.
A little bit of a pooch kick. They're going to force a return and field it around the 35. That's where Desert Vista will take over. So Desert Vista will have 65 yards to go. Fewer to get into field goal range, of course, but with 40 and a half seconds, we're wondering what exactly they're going to try to do, as Highland will receive the second half kickoff coming out of halftime.
Couldn't even think of that aspect. It's even more of a killer for Desert Vista. You have a chance to take the lead. Instead, you give up the lead, and now it could get even worse if you don't pull something out of your hat here in these next 40 seconds.
So Desert Vista taking over, dropping back to pass is Thomas. He steps up and he's going to, a little pooch pass, he's got a man open. A good gain. Takes it out past the first down marker. The ball carrier, that's number 2, Traven Vigenzer. Clock will run inside 30 seconds.
Out to midfield, good amount of time with 2 timeouts. Surprised one wasn't used right there.
Back to passes. Thomas goes over the middle. Looking incomplete. A lot of time came off the clock. Now down to just 18 seconds remaining. Will be 2nd and 10 from midfield. And Scott, you have to think that Desert Vista is going to be looking at a Hail Mary type situation at the end of this half.
I think you still got 2 timeouts. So it gives you 2 plays before you need to take a shot at the end zone, take a shot for any sort of points. So I was surprised not to see a timeout right there off the 10-15 yard gain. And now with 4 wide, it looks like they are going to give a shot. We'll see how far downfield, but I'm sure if the pass is completed, that timeout's going to get used.
18 seconds remaining. Thomas drops back under pressure, throws over the middle into traffic. A nice catch by Allison, and that timeout is used. The flag flies at the end of the play.
Yeah, we got a mid-air tackle there by Chance Coffin. He was rather careful.
That's not an illegal move.
Yeah, I don't believe.
We'll wait to see what the violation was, which team it was against.
Yeah, it was a rather gentle tackle for Chance Coffin especially.
Nothing wrong with the tackle, Scotty. He's an illegal man downfield on the offense. And that will just about end this half, as Desert Vista's backed up now on its own side of the field. 11 seconds to go. They'll talk it over.
Still some time, still timeout. So never say never. But the way Desert Vista's moved the ball, being methodical, taking their 5 yards, taking their 6 yards, they're really going to have to pull something from deep in the playbook here. And they haven't shown us tonight that they're capable of doing that and taking advantage of the Highland defense. This is a Highland defense that does not let big plays happen. So really going to have to be a unique play from an offense that runs some gadget plays. I mean, they've been using a wide receiver or running back all night. So see what they decide to do here.
Long meeting for Desert Vista.
Using up every second of the timeout clock. Braxton Thomas does have the arm to get it down there. He's showing us he's got some firepower in that right cannon of his.
11 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd and about 13, although the yards to gain for a first down, not of importance here.
Empty backfield again.
Dropping back is Thomas. Now rolling left and under pressure. He's going to sprint out near the sideline. Throws incomplete. Clock ticks down to 4 seconds. One more play Desert Vista will have before the half.
That was kind of a broken play a little bit, not only because off the snap everyone's covered, but because the scramble takes another 5 seconds off the clock. So Desert Vista's chances of finding some points greatly diminished, not only because they just didn't get the yards there, but also because a precious 9-10 seconds came off the clock right there.
Handoff goes out left. This will be the final play of the half. Highland will hunt the man down, and they'll take a 14-7 lead into the halftime locker room. So an up and down first half, an emotional first half, a ton of momentum swings for both sides. 6 total turnovers, Scott. When the dust settles, Highland has a 14-7 lead. And in just a moment here, there seems to be an injured player on the sideline, we'll head down to Cam Minor with Coach Farrell as soon as we get that sorted out. It's a Highland defender. It's down on his stomach. We'll go to no Cam Minor. This has been the first half. You're listening to Highland Hawks football. We'll be back for you at the second half. Highland will receive the kickoff from Gilbert.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with Kicking It with Cody this week. I'm Scott Zandoli alongside Cody Cameron. Cody, how are we doing today?
Good, man. Halfway point of the season is already done. It's incredible. So,
yes,
ready to
sir.
start the back half here.
Yes, sir. And Highland is coming off a bye week before they come into this matchup with Desert Vista. How is the effect of this bye week going to benefit Highland after such a tough loss to Hamilton?
Comes at a great point, right? I think anytime you play the Huskies, just the physicality of that game naturally, you're going to have some banged up bodies. So having a bye right after that, having the fall break, just getting some of your players to heal up. And luckily for Highland, they haven't had too many devastating injuries, but just naturally letting a lot of their players recover with the bye week. It's only going to benefit the Hawks moving forward.
Fair enough. And we just talked about the Hamilton loss a little bit, a game where they were in it to the wire against one of the better teams in the state. What do they need to do in this game against Desert Vista to wash away that Hamilton loss?
I just pretty much execute Coach Farrell's offensive game plan, and he creates a good one every single week, but I just think when it comes to, converting on third down and some of the turnover problems that Highland has shown this year, just cleaning that stuff up, and just the little things. And Highland's still a very good football team. They are on the outside looking into the open, but they cleaned some of that stuff up offensively, matched with their amazing play on the defense. Highland will be just fine.
Absolutely. And we know about Desert Vista. Rowan Martinez has been a beast on the outside as a wide receiver. Basically, their top option. What does Highland need to do to stop him?
I just look at DB, man. They've been tested. They've had tough losses to some of the better teams in the state. But just in terms of what Highland needs to do, Highland just got to show up and play their assignments. So that defense, like I told you before we got on, they have pretty much proven now that they can not only play with anybody in the state, they're going to compete and dominate on that defensive side of the ball. And I know Chalowski, Hamilton's quarterback, got hurt in that game against Highland a couple weeks ago, but to hold a team like that, there's such a high-powered offense to such a minimal scoring, and that proves it right there. So to stop players like Ron Martinez, who, yes, has been a really good deep threat at the receiver position, Michael Allison, Braxton Thomas, the quarterback for DB, to stop these guys, Highland's just got to play Highland football.
Absolutely. And what do they need to show really in this game against Desert Vista, who's had struggles early on, in preparation or tune-up for Saguaro and Pinnacle, two top 6A teams coming up on the Highland schedule?
On the offensive side of the ball, I just like to see some more balance. This is a team with one of the best offensive line units in the game. They could probably run the ball about 50 to 60 times in this football game against DV and win the football game. I mean, that's how powerful their offensive line is. I would like to see some of the play action pass get going, though. I'm not saying by any means throw the ball 20 times because you don't need to at this football game, but 5 play action passes, maybe get some of these rollouts here in some of the waggle positions and get the players like their tight end and some of the receivers, some of the rocks off the play action pass game, which they did show early on. They showed that in the Desert Edge game earlier in the year, but just a little bit more balance, because when you get into more of the region play and you play some of the big dogs, which are coming up, the Saguaro, Pinnacle, and Shaps, you're going to have to be a little bit more balanced, because especially Saguaro, they're going to put 8 men in the box and stop that run.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kicking It with Cody for this week. We'll get back to you with the halftime coverage next. Cody, thank you very much.
Anytime.
Right, and for the second interview of the day with Austin McNamara. Austin, how are you feeling right now?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So you're playing football over at Texas. Let's just dive straight into how was that transition like from high school to college sports?
So it was a big change coming to Lubbock, Texas from Gilbert, Arizona. Just like the culture, just like the location, the weather, like pretty much everything was different about it. I've never been to. We lived in Texas when I was younger, but I don't remember that really. So it was a big change for me, big culture shock for me, and I've loved it. It's home to me now for sure. At the beginning, I was like, I don't know about this. Like I was a little unsure, and I wanted to go home every once in a while and just kind of get out of Lubbock and not really want to come back. But now, like it's home, like I said, to me, and I've loved playing here. Our fans are great. Everything about this place is great, and I'm definitely blessed to be here. So.
And you're a punter on the team. Punter, kickers, the whole kind of umbrella, kind of the unsung heroes of the football team. Anybody who really knows football knows that that's actually one of the most important positions. How has that been, just being a punter on the team, and what do you feel you contribute?
Yeah. So yeah, like you said, punter is definitely kind of a just like a unique position. Honestly, punters, kickers, holders, snappers, all that kind of stuff, all kind of falls in the same place. But it's been really cool. Obviously, I punted and kicked at Highland, and I learned everything I know there, and I was able to bring it here, and just try and help the team out the best I can, and try and be successful here. And it's been really fun. Like punters obviously don't usually get a lot of love or like respect. They're like, hey, these guys are like different from us or whatever. But my teammates do a great job of just bringing us in and just always hang out with us, talk to us, that type of thing. And we try and return the favor by performing on the field for them and being there for them on and off the field. So it's been really good. Like I said, I love kicking and punting. It's my passion. That's what I'm here to do. So it's been fun.
Yeah, and it's a little more than fun because I just saw you broke a record for Texas Tech football with an 87-yard punt, basically going the entire length of the field. Just kind of talk to me about like that play, and like were you expecting that the moment you let the ball go? Did you know it was one of them ones, or like how was that?
Yeah, no, that was that was crazy. That was back in 2020, I guess now, and it was pretty wild. Like if you watch it, like immediately after I punted, I got hit and like I was on the ground, so I didn't know like where the ball went, and I just remember like before I looked up, like hearing the crowd, kind of like cheering stuff, and I was like, either it's really bad or really good, because that's usually a reaction. So from the crowd, but I looked up and it was still like high up in the air, and I was super shocked, honestly, and just got up and watched it roll through the end zone. I was completely shocked. I obviously didn't mean to, like hit it that far. I wasn't trying to hit an 87-yard punch, just trying to hit a good ball, and that's it. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, I wish I could do that every time, but fortunately I can't. So it's all good now.
And I'm guessing that's the longest you've done. Have you ever kicked it like that in practice before, or anything like was that just completely new, or?
In practice, like I'll hit like a kind of a bigger ball every once in a while. Those ones are obviously just super rare, and like I said, I wish I could do it every time, but yeah, I try and just hit like a my A ball, just a good clean ball, and that would usually be good enough for me, and so that's what I try and do every time. Look, every here and there you'll get a longer punt for that. I think that's just could just be conditions or how you make contact or that type of thing. So.
And then you're a junior now in college, but seeing how the transition from how when you were at Highlands, you guys you were part of the team that came up short, right, and lost in that 2-point conversion.
I was.
But now you watch and you see how Highlands just had the state championship run. Obviously, the younger guys. What's that kind of like being an alumni, seeing how you guys came up short, but then seeing the younger guys basically fill those shoes and continue you guys with the groundwork that you guys basically did?
That 2019 year was at we played Chandler at Bash High School. I remember like it was yesterday, and it was that was just like a fun game. I really felt like we played Mississippi State last year in our bowl game, and that was like our last game of the year, and that kind of set us up for this year. Kind of the same thing there, like, and we obviously won the Mississippi State game, but like I just kind of like as a team like brings you closer together, and as a coaching staff, like I think everyone knows that Coach Farrell is the man that needs to be at the wheel, and he's proved that ever since he came in my junior year, and so he's done a great job first and foremost, and I love him as a person and a coach. We still talk and reach out to him, and I watch every Highland football game usually on Fridays if I can, if I'm in the hotel or traveling or whatever for away games or home games I'll watch, but. Those younger guys are doing really, really well. It's fun to watch. As I've gotten older, I don't know as much of the guys anymore as when I was, back in high school or even a year or two removed. But it's really fun to watch those guys, compete and, and like I said, I love watching them play, and they play with a lot of passion. And Highland is a great school to play for. We're one of the best in Arizona, and it's a big deal, and it's an honor to wear that black and teal. So.
And then, like you said, you still talk to Coach Farrell. I've noticed that Highlands is just a huge community. Everybody's really close. How was it going from that tight-knit community to kind of being independent, obviously, continuing your football journey on your own this time?
Like you said, Highland, we're all very close. Like all the seniors that year, all of us, we were super close. We also talked, and it was, and you just build those memories. That's why I loved playing high school football. I started as a freshman, playing high school football for the very first time, playing football for the very first time, and I just loved like the brotherhood and like the bond that we had throughout those years, and Coach Farrell, he's done a really good job of implementing that at Highland, and but when I got here, it was different. Obviously I didn't know anyone here. A lot of guys at Texas Tech, we have a lot of guys that either come from like in-state, so what we have like I think it's like 80% or something, 75% are from Texas. They went to high school in Texas, so. All those guys either played each other, know each other. They have like fellow students that came here as well just for school. So like it was new for me, and like I said, I got to know all these people since I've been here, and that's why it kind of feels like home now, just because I've been here for 4 years, and it was a good change for me. So. And
then, what are some of the things even outside of the football field? Because obviously it translates from the field to real life. So what are some of the things that Highlands and even the football team just instilled in you that you take with you on your good days, your bad days? Because obviously there's ups and downs when you're playing sports or just in life.
For sure. We this past year, just the most recent off-season we just had, we learned, how to take care of ourselves on and off the field more than ever, and I do it now more than I ever have, and I wish I had that when I was at Highland, or that knowledge. Even when I was a freshman, sophomore, even junior, honestly, and here at Texas Tech, like. I take care of my body on and off the fields, and I get in the training room, every day, do, our cold tub, hot tub, like, Theraguns, we have some Normatec boots, like, for your legs, like, just, there's so much stuff that you can do, heat and stem, there's so much stuff, so, that was, like, one thing that I really, like, just kind of focused on, taking with me on and off the field. All of us hang out outside of football, mostly the specialists, other kickers and punters. I have a roommate. He's a snapper with the team. We lived together for the last 2 years, and I've lived with one of our kickers before. So we all hang out on and off the field, and kind of just we all go play golf together, or just do fun stuff, honestly, and just kind of just hang out and be together. That's kind of a really important part, with the team, is having that bond. And if you're really tight off the field, you're going to be tight on the field and be clicking and connecting. So. That's kind of a big thing, and that's what we had at Highland as well. That's why we were so successful my senior year, and it was a good time. But other than that, I've learned just kind of take care of myself, like just any kind of college student, and yeah.
Sure. And then last question for you. Everybody, when you're playing sports, when you're in the moment, everybody says, enjoy it. Time flies. High school, when we graduate. Not everybody's as fortunate as you to go play at the next level. What kind of be your advice to just these younger guys who are playing in the moment at Highland?
Yeah, like you said, it does go by really fast. This is my fourth season at Texas Tech, and it's gone by like that too. And so it's pretty crazy. But I would say, first thing I'd probably say going back is the training room. Like, make sure you take care of your bodies, because that's your moneymaker. That's what Coach McGuire, head coach, says. That's your moneymaker. And, that you take care of that, you can play for a long time. And so that's kind of the biggest thing I would say to them. Also, develop that bond on and off the field, like I mentioned earlier too, and with your brothers. So those guys always got your back on and off the field. And so that those kind of like the bigger things. I would say take care of the business in the classroom as well. That's a really important thing, grades wise and helping to get education, because football isn't going to be there for forever. And so, but enjoy the ride, especially seniors. You guys got a couple, I guess, back half of the season probably now, but juniors, do everything you can to get right off the field. That way you can have a good senior year. And we've had a bunch of we've had more and more college guys come through Highland now and play. And so it's been amazing to see that as well, just the growth and the recruiting that we get, and they deserve it more than anything. So.
Sure. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Best of luck to you for the rest of the season. Definitely have to
Sorry.
All right.
Yes, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
And we are back here at Highland High School in beautiful Gilbert, Arizona. Highland Hawks leading the Desert Vista Thunder by a score of 14-7. I'm Scott Sandur alongside Jack Lowe. We're getting ready for a big second half.
Players still making their way back onto the field. Just a couple minutes away from the kickoff of the third quarter. Highland will receive. They won the opening coin toss and deferred their decision. Scott, talk about the roller coaster that was the last few minutes of that first half.
Well, Highland had the ball, turned it over. Desert Vista had the ball, turned it over. Highland had the ball, turned it over. Desert Vista had the ball, gave up a touchdown on a turnover. So not the way either offense wanted to end the half, but Highland comes away with the 14-7 lead, and they're going to get the ball back here. So all signs are pointing in their favor. Coming out here, getting some points on the board is going to be crucial to hit that morale of the Desert Vista team, kind of break those spirits. Give yourself a two-possession lead in the second half on the road that's tough to overcome against a defense that doesn't allow a lot of points.
Oh, yeah, Scotty, I couldn't have said it better myself.
In fact, Highland has allowed double digits in points one time this season, and that was 10. This defense is unbelievable.
Right.
They have been
I
phenomenal.
think they allowed double digits to Lone Peak as well, but in Arizona.
Within Arizona,
Within
yes.
Arizona.
Lone Peak gave them 13 points, but
right.
out of conference game, out of state game.
Don't mean to nitpick. Okay, all right.
See what we're going to get from Highland on Joseph Allen as he was shaken up there at the end of the half. Just attended to for quite some time, even into the halftime period. Got some extra time to rest up as the offense will start with the ball and maybe to see him get back on the field, but offense will take control first. And like I've said before, it's critical for Highland to find some points here. It's Kalen Fisher in his first game as a starter on varsity. He's had some trouble with the offense, had some overthrows, some tough breaks. See if now his first half is through, maybe settle down a little bit. See if he can get this Hawks offense going.
Oh, Highland getting set to receive the second half kickoff. They got kind of a makeshift 2-for-1 at the end of that half. It looked like Desert Vista would be in control and be able to kind of take the ball down and score before halftime, but Ezekiel Natu jumped that route, took it all the way to the house, and flipped the script in this ball game. Well, Highland with a little bit of momentum. We've known Brock Farrell to make good adjustments in the halftime locker room. We'll see what he has cooked up for the Hawks as the kick return team makes its way onto the field.
Going to be crucial, like I've said, to come out and punch Desert Vista right in the mouth. Take the lead. They have it already. Now you got to take it a little further. It's 14-7. That's a one-possession game. Highland finds a way to get some points, make it a two-score game, and come out with a defensive stop. The morale on Desert Vista is really going to sink, and that's something you want to have against a team that's 1-4 when you have them on the road against this defense that doesn't give up much. It's going to be very critical for Highland to turn this drive into points. I wouldn't be too surprised to see maybe a Desert Vista try an onside kick, although I would call it highly unlikely.
And Desert Vista getting ready to kick it away. And we're underway in the second half. A booming kick. Fielded just at the goal line. They faked that handoff they executed earlier. Get a similar result here. Out past the 35, 40, 45, and all the way out to the 50-yard line. Highland Special Teams flexing its muscles tonight in Gilbert.
Absolutely. Ezekiel Natu flexing his muscles tonight in Gilbert. So he's got that big pick six to end the half, and now a nice little return here to get Highland just out near midfield. So another good spot for Kalen Fisher and this offense to see if the Rook can take advantage.
So Fisher, the sophomore quarterback, under center to begin the second half. Molyneux in the backfield. He puts a man in motion. Gives it to Molyneux, who makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage and has room to run off right guard. Carson Molyneux into the second level. 15, 10, 5, touchdown! An explosive play on the first play from scrimmage. A flag flies late, but it seems to be late enough. Carson Molyneux with a burst and acceleration. And for now, a touchdown.
They have to have the broadcast down on the sideline right now, Jack. That's like the fifth time we've said something and then it happens. Right there, I said Highland had to find a way to come out fast, get in the end zone quick. Carson Molyneux was listening. An electric run through the C gap by number 41. Takes it to the house. That's exactly how you want to start out a half where you want to put a team away.
Molyneux made one man miss. He was at risk of being dropped for a loss. And once he accelerated towards first down yardage, you can only see that big number 41, almost caught from behind. Crew Crockett. What else is new? Good on the extra point. 21-7, Highlands lead. Just 20 seconds in to the third quarter.
Big score to swing the momentum all on the near sideline, all to the black and teal. Desert Vista, a little bit rocked. They've taken a couple of punches, and there was the first haymaker right there from the Hawks. Got them stunned on their back foot. Let's see if they can come back and make this, or keep this a relative ball game.
So a big return out to the 48, and then a 52-yard touchdown run for Carson Molyneux. His third score of the season. And Preston Bryce will kick it away.
It's actually Crockett that they're going to let.
It's Crockett now. They're intent on making me doubt myself on the kickoff team. Crockett with a little pooch kick. It's going to fall, and this is a live ball. Luckily for Desert Vista, it goes out of bounds, so it'll be a penalty for an illegal kick out of bounds.
Missed opportunity there for the Hawks. Once the ball passes the 45, it's fair game. Highland had a real chance there to recover that ball, but they go for the prospective ball carrier rather than the ball itself, and that's going to take the rock into the hands of Desert Vista when it could have been right back in the hands of Kalen Fisher. That would have been an even bigger momentum swing than the one we just saw from Carson Molyneux.
We saw Highland gave Desert Edge fits with that in the first home game of the year just about a month ago. Certainly covered a couple of those pooch kicks that went untouched.
Yeah, certainly a creative idea and one that Highland's had success with in the past, and I like the call of Brock Farrell to try and keep that ball in your hands, not let Desert Vista get any sort of momentum, and a missed opportunity there from the Hawks personnel.
Desert Vista with a pre-snap penalty. They'll be backed up to the 30. First and 15 upcoming. Braxton Thomas in the gun. He's directing traffic. Now he takes the snap and gives to Allison, who runs left, makes a man miss. Another nice run by Michael Allison. He picks up about 10 yards and really makes up for that false start penalty. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
See if Desert Vista tries to utilize that kind of 5-yard gains, first down, second down, first down rhythm they had in the first half as they continue to use 4 or 5 wide receivers here.
Thomas, shotgun snap. Give to Allison up the middle. This time Highland not fooled. He's dropped. He'll lose about a yard on the play.
Gate close. Not open for business for the run game tonight is this Hawks defense. Not much has come from the Desert Vista run game. Michael Allison, the wide receiver, being used in the backfield, not finding much room.
Let's go, fans. Make some noise for your Hawks defense.
So 3rd down and 5 from Desert Vista's 40. Thomas drops back. Pass protection's good. Now he collapses. He's in trouble, and he gives it up. The ball is in the hands of Highland. The ball is loose. A whole lot going on. It looks like the Hawks have the ball. It will be Highland football as it was coughed up by Thomas in the hands of number 79, Dakota Vital, the nose guard. He had the pressure, makes the recovery, loses the ball, and another teammate jumped on it. After all that, Highland's going to be set up with a short field.
Ball just got punched out straight into the air, and Dakota Vital, right place, right time, just takes it right out of the air, moves it down the field just a little bit before he lost it himself. Luckily for him, Highland picks it up, but big time defensive play after the miscue on the kick.
So Fisher back to work. Takes the snap under center, gives to Molyneux, who runs left. Makes a couple men miss, but this time he swallowed up. Gains only about 3 yards. Desert Vista bringing a lot of hats to the ball on that one.
We haven't seen a ton of pass plays from Highland, nothing more than usual, I would say, but the pocket's been kept very clean for Fisher, and that's something you really want to do with a new quarterback and make sure he's comfortable back there. And he's kept himself pretty clean all night. Carson Mono now picking up the slack for him.
2nd and 7. The give is again to Mono, who goes up the middle. This time he's met right at the line of scrimmage. May have lost about a yard. He's going to set up 3rd and about 8.
Sight for sore eyes on that play for Desert Vista fans. It's a run defense. It's had a lot of trouble this year. Carson Mono going nowhere on that attempt. And 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 to be exact. Going to have to draw up something in the air, you would think, for Highland.
Highland offense taking their cues from the sideline as they have been doing all night. No huddle.
Right on the edge of practice
correction
range.
coming each time. It's Fisher finding a man in the backfield. That's Martin. He's dropped for a loss. This goes nowhere. And now decision time for Brock Farrell. Expect to see Crew Crockett on to attempt a pretty long field goal.
Yeah, he's going to come on with about 42, 43 yards, hit a career long of 44 hit last year, so within his range, but I was surprised not to see a face mask penalty there. It looked like Highland receiver got ripped down a little violently upstairs, but Desert Vista gets away with it. Now Crew Crockett going to look for one.
Crockett from 43, snap good, hold good. Crew Crockett is going to be short and wide to the left. So Highland comes up empty. They go backwards after the turnover. Crew Crockett, an uncharacteristic miss, albeit from 40-plus yards. Kick never really had a chance. So Desert Vista will take back over at its own 23-yard line.
I think Crockett was a little rushed on that one. Victor Sosa, the linebacker for Desert Vista, came off the line hot pursuit coming for that ball, and Crockett had to take a little bit of a quick step towards the pigskin. Maybe didn't get his whole foot to it.
So Braxton Thomas back to work. He's in the shotgun with a man to his left. He's going to keep it and run up the middle on a read option. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on first down. So Desert Vista, crisis averted. They could have been put in what really would have been an insurmountable hole coming off that turnover. Still down just 14. A few seconds more than 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
The botched onside kick, now the missed field goal. Desert Vista could be in a much, much worse hole than 2 scores right now. They got to take advantage of the opportunity they have.
2nd down and 6 from the 25. Thomas takes a low snap and rolls right. Looking to throw. He does throw. Pass is caught, but a minimal gain at most, maybe of about a yard over towards the far sideline.
Another 4 wide set. This might be one of the first times tonight we've seen 2 on each side, though.
3rd down and 5. Taking the snap is Thomas. He drops back to pass. Has a lot of time. Now a man in his face. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. The Highland pass rush didn't have much until it did. And that was Cash Collimore. And Cooper Scott coming in hot.
Yeah, Cooper Scott came in fast there off the edge. Right in the face of Braxton Thomas. Just had to get it away or get crushed. Fortunately, both happened for Mr. Thomas.
So Desert Vista will punt it away. Cole Crandall back. He's at the 50. Very shallow punt return as he kind of gives real estate now. Snap is good. Kick is away. Crandall will let it roll, and it's going to take a Desert Vista roll all the way back inside the 25. And that's where Fisher and the Highland offense will take over once again. So the Highland defense coming into its own. They bent but didn't completely break in the first half. And they're looking more and more like themselves here in the third quarter.
Indeed they are, Jack. Coming out on defense, not letting you get a thing. It's scorched earth. They're not giving up anything, and when they are giving it up, you're giving the ball to them. Highland is playing a very good defensive game right now, like they have all year. Now it's on the offense here to put together a nice 4 or 5 minute drive, take some time off this clock, and expand this lead.
Fisher in the gun, Molyneux to his right. The give is to Molyneux, who runs up the middle. Makes a couple men miss. He picks up about 4. Desert Vista with a lot of men around the ball, but Carson Molyneux, nimble on his feet, able to charge forward.
Again, the tackling issues have been a bit of a problem for Desert Vista. We talked about their leading tackler, Antonio Pietro Delgado, is averaging 11 tackles a game. The next closest guy was about 5. So relying on one guy to bring the ball down, not the greatest recipe.
He keeps Fisher now throwing deep down the middle of the field, nearly picked off again. A really poor throw behind their intended receiver, Malloy Hess. So we'll see 3rd down and 7.
It's Max Grady jumping in there in front of Malloy Hess to break up what would have been a big play. And he had a chance at the interception just right through his hands, luckily for Highland. So what looked like a big game that was going to turn into an interception turns into an incompletion. So not the greatest victory, but not the greatest defeat.
Fisher in the shotgun, and we're going to have a timeout. Brock Farrell wants to talk it over.
Play clock was winding down a little bit there.
Before the delay of game. Highland will chat about it. While they wait to talk it over, we're going to talk to you about BJ's Restaurant at Superstition Springs. BJ's is proud of their brew house legacy. People enjoy the California twist they've put on Chicago-style pizza, and they love their Pizookies. So do I. But above all, they know people go there to make their good times better. BJ's Restaurant, located at Superstition Springs. Come one, come all. Thank you, BJ's, for supporting Highland Hawks football. Brock Farrell in the huddle. Scott, what's he saying to his offense right now?
Get a first down, no matter what. It's 3rd and 7. They're deep in their own zone. They have the 2-possession lead, halfway gone the 3rd quarter, and they've had a lot. Their defense has come out to play here in the second half, and all game for that matter. Now what you need to do is start rhythm on offense. You need to keep your defense on the sideline, keep them fresh, and expand that lead and kill that morale on the Desert Vista sideline.
Fisher takes a shotgun snap, surveys, now throws. He's got a man wide open on the left sideline, making the catch, picking up first down yardage. A big game for Highland. That's Martez Dupree on the catch.
It's the first time we've seen him, I think, this year. And
the correction, that was Hayden Doherty, the tight end. And you're right, Scott. We have not seen a lot of him. He was running totally free up the left sideline. Highland moves the chains. They're just over midfield at the Desert Vista 49.
Fisher kind of lost his grip.
Fisher under center now. Turns and hands to Molyneux, who is bottled up after now charges forward. Carson Molyneux continues to make something out of nothing. He picks up 4 on the first down run.
Going back to the game with Doherty, he had a lot of space down the sideline. We've seen Fisher really rocket the ball down the field, but it looked like the ball kind of slipped out of his hands. Luckily, it still got to the intended receiver, but if he had gotten it out the way he likes to, there could have been one big play there, Jack. Lucky break for Desert Vista.
2nd and 6 from the 45. Fisher puts a man in motion. Now takes the snap. Ball is fumbled. Ball's on the ground. We've got a pile up. Who's got it?
Vista thinks they have it.
The Thunder think they do. Waiting for a signal from the referees. And it is Desert Vista football. A fumbled snap is the 4th turnover of this ball game for Highland. They continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
New quarterback, but same struggles on offense, Jack. We've seen Joe Walter have some trouble throwing some interceptions early on in the season. This one was a fumble. bad snap that Kalen Fisher couldn't handle. It's Highland's offense. They've tried different personnel, they've tried their different schemes, but they're still struggling with keeping the ball in their hands. And luckily for them, it hasn't come back to bite them tonight. For 4 turnovers, that's something Brock Farrell is going to be upset about in the practice next week.
Thomas takes the snap, throws a little bubble screen, got a man open, gains a few yards, makes it out to the 49 before he's stood up by a host of Highland defenders. And who else but Chance Cawthon making the stop?
You've seen Gage Wilcock have a defensive game where he's basically dominated. The same with Brigham Stewart. Chance Cawthon now taking the advantage tonight.
2nd and 8 for Desert Vista. Just outside of midfield. The give is to Allison, who's met by a host of Hawks. Makes a couple men miss, running through arm tackles. Cooper Scott makes the stop, but not before he picks up 3. It'll set up 3rd down and about 4.
Highland defense has made stops all night, Jack. Need another one right here.
Scott, you got to think it's 4 down territory for Desert Vista if they don't go backwards here.
Certainly. 5 wide again.
Thomas drops back, throws. He's got a man open. Caught for the 1st down. Throw was low. Adjustment was made. That'll move the sticks.
Close spot right there. Will do the job. Got about pretty much the minimum.
Thomas finds Jackson Sanders and moves the chains. So Desert Vista sets up shop at the Highland 43. Low snap. Thomas, unfazed, takes the bubble screen, throws it out right, and it is an incomplete pass. That one Highland was ready for.
Give up the 1st down, force an incompletion. Classic Highland football. They're going to give you something, but they're not going to let you enjoy it.
2nd and 10. Now Thomas will look towards the sideline. Get his play call. Desert Vista looks ready to go. Here's the snap. He's got it. Looking downfield. Pocket holding up. He's going deep over the right side. He overthrew his man.
Ian Jimenez wide open right there. Wide open. Missed chance right there for Desert Vista. He had nobody even near him. All Jimenez had to do if the ball was at him, just catch it and go upfield, but toss was out of bounds, unfortunately.
Seems like the Desert Vista offensive line holds up for a couple seconds, and then it's just an avalanche of pass rush. 3rd and 10. He's got time in the backfield, does Thomas. Now spinning, making men miss. Rolls left, he wants to throw. Has an open man, and the pass is broken up. That's Jace Need in coverage.
Good job.
Free safety.
Good job by Jason Need to stay on his coverage right there. As we had Thomas kind of scrambling around, avoiding sacks, trying to extend the play. That can throw off some DBs, but Need not fooled.
Desert Vista kind of in no man's land. They're going to go for it on 4th and 10 from the Highland 43. Thomas asks for direction, now puts Allison in motion.
Play clock coming down here.
3 receivers out right now. Play clock inside 5. He wants the snap. He's got it. It's going to be a pooch punt. That's blocked at the line. Taken by Highland. And inside the 30 goes Bertrand Berry. A pooch punt backfires for Desert Vista. It goes back the other way, and these two teams continue to stumble all over each other in this ball game. Highland will take over with a 20-yard field ahead of them. So great field position for Highland, and yet another chance to put a stranglehold on this ball game.
Well, Desert Vista, like you said, Jack, kind of no man's land, not near a field goal range, but in a territory where you had to convert a 4th down, and they decide to punt it away with Braxton Garrett. And punting with a quarterback doesn't always go so well as it just gets blocked by the line. Bertrand Berry able to scoop it up, and lucky for Desert Vista, they're able to bring him down before he scores.
Kylan Fisher back to work. He's thrown 3 picks in his debut. But Brock Farrell sticking with him. This time he hands to Carson Molyneux, who runs up the middle. Charges forward for a gain of about 5 yards on first down. You can count on Carson to get you half the distance on those first down runs up the gut.
Absolutely, and with a such short field like this and the way Carson Molyneux has run the ball here in the second half, I wouldn't be surprised to see Highland take the entire play clock for the rest of this series. See if they can run this down as close to or even into the fourth quarter.
Hawks back on the ball. Shotgun, give to Molyneux, who runs right. Got some room. He's got a first down inside the 5 goes Carson Molyneux. And he's tripped up at the 3-yard line. Have a game, number 41.
He's really had a fantastic second half running the ball. We saw him kind of show that kind of flashes in the first half on full display here, engineing this Highland offense.
Inside 3 minutes in the third quarter. Highland with a first and goal from the 3-yard line. The give is to Molyneux, who runs left, runs up the middle. He's in. Touchdown, Hawks. Carson Molyneux with his second of the game. And he is taking control here in the third, as are the Hawks.
Saw that a lot from Highland last year. Force a turnover, get that short field, and pound it in on the ground. Just saw it right there on full display by taking advantage of a botched punt. Feed Carson Molyneux 1, 2, 3 times the charm. And the Hawks starting to put the wrapping paper on.
Crockett perfect on the PAT. Highland now up 28-7. It's been all Hawks somewhat here in this third quarter.
Absolutely. Worth noting in this week's Kicking It with Cody. Cody made a score prediction, 35-7 Hawks.
Very much in play. Cody Cameron, if you're listening to your favorite broadcast booth in the greater Phoenix area on Friday nights, we shout out your score prediction if it hits. Burrito Express on Scott this week in Tempe.
I don't know. Cody strikes me as a Taco Boys kind of guy.
Oh, no, he's a Burrito Express guy.
Really?
Also a Dave's Hot Chicken guy. Just a new location in Gilbert. No free advertisements. Dave's Chicken, if you want to advertise with Highland Hawks, please get in touch with our booster club. We know there's a new location in Gilbert. A lot of hungry Hawk fans probably want some of that. Speaking of hungry Hawks, Scotty, this defense for Highland has been swarming to the football in the second half. They've got the takeaways. They have given up chunk yardage in this game, more so than we may be used to. But things seem to be in control on the defensive side of the ball, as they so often do under Brock Farrell.
Well, the Hawks have gotten a 3-course meal, and that's the 3 turnovers that Desert Vista has given them. They've taken advantage with points on the board. It's a big reason to why they hold this 28-7 lead, despite 4 turnovers of their own, as we close in on the fourth quarter.
And our sideline reporter, Cam Miner, absolutely feeling himself as Soldier Boy pumps through the speakers. Cam, make sure you're not too much of a distraction down there. You're stealing the show for me. That's beautiful.
There is nothing better than football in Gilbert on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen.
Cam looked in his element there. He didn't miss a beat.
If he's got moves like that, maybe they get him on the ASU field. Use a little bit of juke and spin moves out there.
We're waiting for something here before the kickoff. Looks like an injured player coming off the field for Desert Vista.
Yes, looks like Desert Vista's got a hobbled player. They'll attend to him. Well, they look to attend to a 21-point lead, 21-point deficit as they're about to get the ball back here.
Highland sets up for the kickoff. Another pooch kick, and it's fair caught. around the 38-yard line. So Desert Vista gets a little smart on the pooch kickoffs. They decide not to mess with it, and they'll take over. And I think, Scott, to say Desert Vista needs a touchdown on this drive would be an understatement.
Indeed, it would be. Down 28-7 with 2:36 on the clock in the in the third quarter, and another 12 looming in the fourth. It's 14, just a little under 15 minutes, and you got to put together 3 touchdown drives. I don't even know if they're going to get three full drives in the next 14 minutes. So
2.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Braxton Thomas alone in the backfield. Takes the snap. Drops back to pass. Now evades the rusher. He's going to tuck it and run. He's going to get dropped. Maybe gained a yard. Abraham Hermosillo with the pursuit and the tackle.
Hermosillo, great job there. He didn't get that sack on the original rush, not giving up on the play. He keeps following Thomas, and he gets back to him. Great determination and effort by Abraham Hermosillo.
Thunder don't want to take too much time off the clock. They're back on the ball. Looking to pass is Thomas. He's got his man. A nice picked up first down. That's Trevern Vigenzer. Moves the chains. He gets out of bounds.
Good gain
Clock
right there.
Runs inside 2 minutes.
Very good gain right there. One that was much needed. Move the chains.
The Highland 48. Over the middle he goes. Pass is tipped and falls incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Highland 48. Desert Vista in desperate need of a touchdown. They've been able to move the ball tonight, but they haven't been able to finish drives.
Yeah, we've seen them give up the ball on turnovers. Seen them had to punt even close to their own to the Highland 40 or 35. They've been able to move the ball, but not finish the job. And you're not going to win by not doing that. As there is a quick pass out left that is snuffed out.
The Highland defense so good getting to the ball. They weren't fooled at all on that one.
Yeah, Trevern Vigenzer again. No room to run. Ezekiel Natsu, his matchup, is a tough man to beat. He's played his mind out these last few weeks. Drop back to pass, looking left, caught on the sidelines. That is Vigenzer.
Thank you, Scotty. Not much there. It's going to be 4th down and about 9. So Highland bending, not breaking again.
Might have been incomplete. Maybe he didn't get his feet in.
Desert Vista going to have to.
It's a must convert.
In the gun is Thomas. 4th down and 9. Escapes the pocket. He's going to try to run for it. Towards the boundary. He will not get it before he's knocked out of bounds. This ball is going to go over on downs to the Hawks. Not sure people here in the stadium know exactly what's going on. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Looked like he had the room right there on the left side, but the Hawks defense rallies to the ball better than anybody. And no first down for you, Mr. Thomas. Just over a minute left in the third quarter. Desert Vista doesn't get off the field quick here on defense. They could be looking at dire straits.
Highland takes over. They are at their own 40. Under center, Fisher gives to Molino. Molino goes up the middle, makes a man miss, stays on his feet. Carson Molino into the second level again. There he goes. Molino 25-20. He is tripped up at about the 16-yard line. Yet another huge, explosive run for Carson Molino. Just cannot be brought down tonight, Scott.
Any given Friday night, any player on that field can take over. Carson Molino is doing just that. Taking the reins of a Highland offense with a new quarterback and driving it to the finish line. As we close in on the end of the third quarter.
A bit of a coming out party for the senior back. They're in the formation again. Fisher takes the snap. They give up the middle to Cawthon, who falls down immediately. And that will likely take us to the end of the third quarter. Molyneux getting a breather on the play.
I think he deserves one after the third quarter he just had, Jack. For Chance Cawthon, he's
ticks down.
done a lot in the power back tonight. But
that will be the end of the third. So Highland will take a 28-7 lead into the fourth quarter. A dominant quarter from the Hawks, who come up on defense, and we're all bearing witness to the Carson Molyneux show. Scott Sanduli, would you like to do the advertisement honors here at the quarter break? Never mind, we're going to go down to Cam. That's why they don't let me produce these kind of broadcasts. Cam Miner is on the sideline. He's ready to go. Looks like he is walking. He's got a special guest. We all run on Cam's time on this broadcast.
Still recovering from that Soldier Boy breakout to find his new guest. Everyone's, crowding around him. A little too famous for just one guy right now.
Stand by. Cam's got a special guest. He's around that north end zone. We're going to go to Cam Miner.
Down on the field with Highland's #1 fan, Parker. Parker, you're here on a Friday Night Lights. How are you feeling?
Good.
You're feeling good. I heard you're also an NFL fan, right? Like, who's your favorite team?
Packers.
The Packers. What do you like about the Packers?
Quarterback.
Quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He's a great guy. I can't be mad at it. You're out here. What do you like about just being out here on Friday nights? What's your favorite part about coming out here?
Watching the team. They're so good.
They're so good. We're gonna get a dub today. We're gonna get a win. What's it looking like?
Win.
We're gonna get a win. Appreciate you, Parker. Have a good one. Highland's #1 fan right here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Parker, we always love seeing him out here. And Cam said it. He's Highland's #1 fan. And this defense feels his presence each and every game. So second down. Give goes up the gut to Molyneux. Makes a couple men miss. What else is new? Carson Molyneux near the boundary. He's nearly got first down yardage on a second down run.
He's taking out the Desert Vista defense here in the second half, and he took out the chain gang as well. Carson Molyneux was on a rampage tonight.
Nobody's safe. He's about 2 yards shy, stepped out there. So Molyneux picks up 8. We'll get some live stats to you if you can, but Scott, you got to imagine Carson Molyneux nearing a 200-yard night.
Surely. That's why we need a statistician up here, but for now we can only use the eye test. But Carson Molyneux, you don't even need a stat sheet to know how much he's dominated this game. Desert Vista with no answers for the senior back. Looking to take it home.
On the ball, Molyneux again in the backfield. Fisher under center, movement up top. This is going to be a penalty on someone. We'll see which side was guilty first. Saw movement on both ends.
You're going to sub out Molyneux real quick, it looks like.
It'll be offside on the defense, so that'll set up first and goal. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, resulting in a first down. First and goal, Highland from the 4-yard line.
And you'd have to imagine a score here. Likely puts the bow on a present that will hold the W for the Highland Hawks.
Under center is Fisher. And we've got pre-snap motion. The hand was to Jace Martin. But a penalty flag flies and shuts things down before they can get started.
Offense got going a little too quickly there.
False start, and they'll be backed up. The yardage that they just gained will remain first down. It'll be first and goal from the 9 now.
Worth noting right now that Rowan Martinez, Desert Vista's top receiver, has been held to pretty much nothing tonight. Highland's defense has not let him do a thing.
Fisher takes the snap. Give to Molyneux. Excuse me, that's Martin. He's bottled up in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Dropped around the 12-yard line. He lost 3 on the play. Desert Vista with a good swarm.
Tackle made there by Rylan Dillard Allen. We saw him make an interception earlier. Now with a nice tackle. Keep Highland out of the end zone for now.
So clock ticking. Just about 10 minutes remaining in this ball game. Highland looking for a touchdown that would certainly be the knockout punch at this point. And would put our our friend Cody Cameron in position to be correct scorer. Highland making a substitution pre-snap. On comes Brigham Stewart. Fisher in the gun. Man in motion, that's Mason Sparks. Fisher drops back to pass, still looking over the middle, firing end zone. Broken up just at the goal line. Fisher in danger of throwing his 4th interception of the night. It'll be 3rd down and goal from outside the 10.
You're thrown into double coverage right there by Fisher. Not exactly the smartest play, especially with a little bit of room over the middle to maybe take off and run a little bit. But didn't want to risk a QB scramble that turned into something worse. Ends up being incomplete.
Sparks and Hess go out right. Molyneux is the back. Under pressure, throws over the middle, it's dropped. He had a wide open touchdown. Did the tight end. Hayden Doherty had it in his hands. Pressure came, Fisher stood in the pocket, delivered a strike. And just a miss from Doherty, and that one hurts.
And missed opportunity there to get the score a little further, but well within Crew Crockett's field goal range. So Highland is surely to add on some points here, assuming Crockett knocks it through, as he does.
Knocks it through. So Highland goes up 31-7. Sorry, Cody. 9:46 remaining in the ball game. Highland in control in the second half.
9:48 to go, 24-point lead. Highland on the verge of a victory. And while the Hawks look to finish it off, we're going to thank Damage Control and DC Restoration. DC Restoration has highly trained and skilled professionals that are ready to restore your home or business. They have proven they are a strong asset dedicated to the community with professional workmanship done with integrity and respect for their clients and customers every step along the way.
Nice job, Scott.
24-point lead, that's 4 possessions minimum. Unless Desert Vista pulls some real magic, they could be looking at their 5th defeat in 6 matchups on the 2022 season. Well, Highland coming out of their bye week exactly how they wanted to, with dominance and assertion.
Bryce will kick it away. He kicks it deep. Fielded around the 10. We're going to have a return. Desert Vista return man takes it just outside the 20. And that is where Braxton Thomas and company will set up. They've been able to move the ball. They haven't been able to do much with it, especially on the Hawk side of the field. And it is tuba time in Highland. And if you thought these fans were rowdy before, you're about to hear a whole new level.
Game on the line, Jack. Defense has played their part. Crowd looking to finish the job for him.
Thomas takes the shotgun snap. He's looking to throw. Got a man open, complete, but swallowed up after a gain of just 3. More importantly for Highland, the clock will run.
Catch and tackle. That's what Highland's done all night, not allowing Desert Vista to really get these big plays with broken tackles. And has kept the Thunder in check.
Thomas takes the snap, looking to throw. He's got a man out wide. That catch is made. Making a nice gain towards the sideline is Allison. Excuse me, that's Sanders. But still short of a first down, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 3. As you mentioned, Scott, certainly 4-down territory.
Absolutely, Jack. Time running down on the Thunder.
Snap taken, looking over the middle, throwing into traffic. What a catch! Michael Allison climbs the ladder and comes down with it to move the chains. He's had a nice day for Desert Vista in what has otherwise been a quiet offensive night.
Yeah, Tui Pelotu had the chance to make the tackle, but was scared of making a play in midair. Didn't want to take an unnecessary roughness penalty. Let Sanders go up and come down. Shouldn't affect Highland too much.
They're going to run the ball, and he stood up. Nice play. Cash Cullimore.
He's made some plays out there tonight. That one's going to get felt tomorrow by the ball carrier. That was a big hit from a big kid.
Second down and 7. Thomas drops back to pass. He throws near side. He's got his man. It's Allison. Picks up about 8 yards on the play. Picks up about 5 yards. 8 from the original down and distance. It'll be a 3rd down and 2. The clock ticks inside 8 minutes in this ball game.
Another must-convert spot as we're now trickling down in time for Desert Vista.
Thomas looking to pass. He throws far side. Got a man. Throw was late. Defender arrived just as the pass did. That's Cooper Kamak. Ezekiel Natu, on the coverage.
Jack a number off on the roster sheet.
Highland with the black jerseys and the teal numbers, not always the easiest to see from up here in the booth. 4th down and a long 1 yard. Thomas takes the snap. He looks to throw. He's got a man wide open. Plenty of yardage for the first down. So Desert Vista now inside the Highland 40, doing what they've done most of the night. That's move the ball. But in this part of the field, the defensive last third, Highland has been stout defensively, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. And with Desert Vista not moving the ball too quickly, enough time is coming off the clock where this isn't going to really hurt them in terms of the outcome of the game, one would think.
Right, the outcome of the game not really in question anymore. And Thomas is
going
to get hit and dropped. He'll lose about 8 on the play.
Certainly isn't in the minds of Highland as they go in there hard, bring down the quarterback. Bertram Berry and Gage Wilcock get home.
We know a lot about Brock Farrell defenses. One thing we know, Scott, they don't play around. A whistle is the only means to an end for this team.
There's 48 minutes on a game clock. They play every single second of it, Jack.
Thomas back to pass, 2nd and very long. Steps up in a collapsing pocket. Now will tuck it and run. Picks up only about 3 yards. Does not get back to the original line. It's going to be 3rd and 13 as the clock ticks under 7 minutes remaining in the ballgame here in Gilbert. Highland getting ready to bring an effective pass rush. Thomas takes the snap. 3-man rush. A man drops deep. He throws over the middle. Got a man caught in traffic. Enough for a first down. We do have a penalty flag down in the secondary. For now, Desert Vista moves the chains. We'll see who the foul is against.
Desert Vista not going away, Jack. They refuse to give up despite the time on the clock. Despite the score, they, like this Highland defense, are going to play all 48 minutes.
Again, holding on the defense, so the play will stand. Desert Vista will get another first down. They move the ball inside the Highland 20. So in the red zone is Desert Vista for just the 3rd time tonight. Only 7 points to show for it. Braxton Thomas in the shotgun. 3 receivers out right, 2 to his left. Empty backfield. He drops back to pass. Steps up, evades the rush. He's going to tuck it and run, cut up field. He'll pick up about 3 yards when it's all said and done. Highland defense does a nice job containing the mobile quarterback. It'll be 2nd down.
Again, the kind of plays that Desert Vista doesn't want. These short gains that are taking up so much time off the clock.
So 5.5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Desert Vista not doing anything fancy to try to conserve too much time here. They know the game is decided at this point. They just like to see themselves put the ball in the end zone here and maybe once more. before they get the bus revved up.
Any sort of points would get Desert Vista over 100 points scored on the year. So maybe a little extra incentive despite the game being out of
Low
reach.
Snap pass over the middle. Oh, nearly picked off. Miscommunication on the route. And it was almost picked off by Clifton Gross III. And he would have had room to run had he jumped that route.
Another third down here. As you hear on the PA. 3rd and 7.
We got a whistle pre-snap. It's going to be a false start. Going to make third and 7, 3rd and 12. And Desert Vista stalling as they have all night in the red zone after moving the ball pretty well down the field. 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. Highland with a stranglehold on this one, 31-7. Thomas in the gun. He's got a running back to his left. He drops back to pass. Pass rush coming. He sprints right. He will tuck it and keep it, and he's met. And this is going to be 4th down. Thomas picks up about 5. Not nearly enough to move the sticks.
Yeah,
Cash Cullimore makes the tackle.
Cash Cullimore
just
getting
like
in
his
there
brother.
Again. Yeah, getting in there again. And Braxton Thomas actually took him a couple yards, but fortunately for him, when Cash Cullimore gets his hands on you, they don't come off until you're on the ground. So he sits down despite the extra 2 or 3 yards. Another 4th down.
4th and 6. Clock continues to run. Play clock now at about 10. Thomas directing traffic, has what he wants. Thomas drops back, still looking. He's going to swing it out right. Incomplete, intended for Allison. Highland will take over, and that will do it.
Think you can turn the keys in the bus, Jack Loader. Start heating up the air conditioning, or cooling up the air conditioning.
And as the tubas sing on the Highland side of the field, the Hawks offense takes back over. And what was an okay performance by their lofty standards in the first half for the Highland defense really turned out to be a great one.
All they got to do is just run down 4 minutes of this clock. They're going to move up to 4 and 2.
Still Carson Molyneux in the backfield. He now splits out left as a receiver. Kylan Fisher takes the shotgun snap. He drops back to pass, throws near side. He's got a man. A nice diving catch there made by Mason Sparks.
Mason Sparks coming back on the bubble screen route a little bit. Just led just a little too much that led him to lay out just to make the catch and keep the clock going. Desert Vista has all their timeouts, but coach over there seemingly knowing his fate. Not going to keep anyone out here any longer than they need to be.
Fisher now under center. Takes the snap. Gives to Molyneux, who runs right. He's got a lot of room. Carson Molyneux into the second level like he's done all night. Makes a cut back upfield. Molyneux out across the 35. Flags fly for a face mask. There'll be 15 at the end of it. And Carson Molyneux with a monster night. We have heaped enough praise on him already. But number 41 continues to move bodies.
Because why not? Carson Molyneux is dominating. A lot of credit up to that offensive line. Nielsen, Poole, Riggs, Dutchover, Lomu, creating the space for Molyneux to do his thing. It's the best way you thank your offensive line, pounding the rock. We're going to get a timeout here. I spoke a little too soon.
Timeout. 3 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in the ball game. And we'd like to tell you about environmental drain and odor control. Environmental drain and odor control are hydrojetting specialists and are highly skilled and trained to jet and clean all pipes, drains, and main lines. They are experts in sewer odor solvers, and they can locate, find, fix, and prevent sewer odors from inside and outside your business. Environmental drain and odor control was established in 1998 and are family-owned and operated since 1998. Damage control and DC restoration, thank you for supporting Highland Hawk football And Scott, damage control is what Highland's defense has been doing all night long.
Indeed they have, Jack. And when Highland's been giving up the ball, they've had 4 turnovers tonight. Desert Vista has not been able to make anything of it, believe it or not. When you get short fields like that, teams have taken advantage of it on Highland before. We saw Hamilton win the game on short field 2 weeks ago. Highland determined to back up their offense, have their back. That's exactly what they've done tonight. It's 31-7 as Jack Loader participates in the cha-cha slide next to me, as is the rest of Hawks field right now. And they're going to come.
Cha-cha slide ringing out through the speakers here.
And Highland's going to go with Henry Cowart at QB here to finish it out.
He gives up the middle. That is number 33. Eli Kirby's got a lot of room. Kirby into the second level. Eli Kirby is gone. Touchdown, Highland. And what a run from Kirby. We do have Laundry back around the 40. This may be coming back. But for the moment, what a run by Eli Kirby in the game for Carson Molyneux, and he does his best Carson Molyneux impression.
Even if it is coming back, how about that run from Eli Kirby, just getting the chance to get outside. The usual special team guy. He's made a lot of tackles on that front tonight, made some big plays for his boys. Now he shows up on what would have been the scoreboard, but it's going to get taken back, unfortunately.
Offensive hold wipes that off the board. Unfortunate, but it may have played a part in such a big hole being opened. So Highland emptying the bench now is Brock Farrell. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Back under center. Takes the snap. Give up the middle. It's Kirby again. This time he picks up about 5 yards. Spot. A Desert Vista one gives him about 3.
They tried to redeem him there for the touchdown run that got scrubbed, but Desert Vista looking to retain their pride a little bit. Keeps Kirby from busting out deep into the field.
Highland emptying the bench, as we mentioned. Brock Farrell wasting no time bringing on the reserves. Clock ticks down to 2.5 minutes. 31-7 is the Hawk lead. They go back in a run formation as you'd expect. And Brock Farrell's going to use a timeout. So avoids the delay of game. Highland will talk it over.
31-7. A little under almost 2 minutes to go here. All but wrapped up here in Highland. Coach Farrell looking to keep those penalty yards down, though, on the score sheet.
He wants to get his guys their time. Make sure that the second teamers have an opportunity.
Yeah, they work hard in practice to have this kind of opportunity. Brock Farrell has raved about his scout team and how much effort gets put in. Trying to give his kids a little love. And a little news on our out-of-town scoreboard for you postseason baseball fans such as me and Jack. The San Diego Padres have just defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers 2-1. 1 win away from the National League Championship Series for the first time since 1998.
Big win for San Diego, so the Padres and the Highland Hawks will both have a winning Friday.
And they've got
Highland in about 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
They've got a connection with our sideline reporter Cameron Miner, native of the great city of San Diego.
This is a handoff up the middle, nothing doing. Desert Vista there to shut it down. Picks up about 3 on the play, so they'll bring up 3rd and long. The clock will tick down to about a minute and a half before that 3rd down stack.
Clock just keeps on ticking. You can't tick fast enough.
So, Scott, looking ahead to Saguaro, what can Highland take away from this game and build on for such a daunting task next week?
Well, this defense has dominated everyone they've played, Jack. It's been whether or not the offense is going to back them up as well. Saguaro is a phenomenally talented team. They may be 3-3, but they've gone through the gauntlet of the toughest schedule possible in Arizona. They are still a projected open team according to AZ Preps 365, and they can't really afford another loss. They're going to come out with everything they got against Highland, but Highland also, with their open hopes on the line, they're going to bring their best defensive game like they do every week. It's now on the offense to try to find the rhythm. We've seen Carson Molyneux do it tonight. Can he carry it over against one of the most talented teams in the state?
The defending Open State champions will come to town to face the defending 6A state champions. So
Sun's got to give.
Quite the premier matchup on deck.
Likely a spot in this year's Open on the line with the winner thoroughly in hand.
For delay a game before they punt it away. As we mentioned, this game is good as over. This seems to happen in a lot of Highland games where the game's decided and for some reason the final drives take a long time, and Scott and I are forced to shoot the breeze a little bit. But there's no place we'd rather be on a Friday night. These fans are sticking around. It's a great atmosphere. Highland back in the win column. They will move to 4-2.
Doesn't matter how you win as long as you do win. Good teams win. Great teams dominate. That's what the Hawks are doing tonight.
And penalty flags fly. The refs say, Scott and Jack, we raise you one more. Alicia, if you're listening, we're trying to minimize the dead time, doing our best here. Not much more to discuss about the ball game. We mentioned Saguaro next week. It'll be Marquise Cooper night, always a really special night here at Highland. We honor the late, great Hawk who played at Washington and then starred in the NFL. We'll have some special guests on tap for you. Make sure not to miss next week's broadcasts. Highland versus Saguaro, as we here at Highland honor Marquise Cooper. Snap is away. Punt is away. Spiraling kick. Fair caught at the 17. So 7 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Like you said, Jack, with the win, Highland will move to 4-2.
Senior tackle Caleb Lomu comes bounding off the field, firing up the crowd.
With the win, like you said, Jack, a 4-2 record now for Highland. Their last 4 games might be the toughest stretch they've seen this season. We've talked about Saguaro on the road against Pinnacle. They've got 2 top prospects in their classes. Elijah Page at offensive tackle, Deuce Robinson at tight end. That's a great offense that's lighting it up. Red Mountain on the road, another tough team. They grit and grind their way to wins. And then a rematch of the 6A state championship with Chaparral on senior night.
A run up the middle will end this ball game. Clock will run down to 000. And it is now officially a Highland Hawks win. While the teams shake hands at midfield, we're going to thank a couple more sponsors. Dr. Paul Kelly, oral and maxillofacial surgeon. Dr. Paul Kelly is an oral and maxillofacial surgeon who is known as a leader in his specialty. That's why he's consistently been named a top oral surgeon by Phoenix Magazine. As a board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgeon, Dr. Kelly also diagnoses and treats facial pain and facial injuries. He provides the highest quality oral surgery care for his patients. You can trust Dr. Kelly to provide you with outstanding care. That's Dr. Paul Kelly. Thank you for supporting Highland Hawks football and this broadcast. Makes it possible for us to broadcast wins like this one. Folks, we're going to go down to Cam Minor in just a moment here.
How about we admire that bright orange moon out there on the horizon? You know what they say, when the moon is lit up, crazy things can happen. Weird things can happen. Nothing weird on the field for Highland tonight. Defensive masterpiece. Offense does what it's supposed to do with the defensive effort. Hawks with a fairly complete performance under the leadership of a new signal caller. Despite Kalen Fisher's 4 turnovers, Highland wins 31-7.
Tonight was the Carson Molyneux show. I mean,
absolutely.
Breakout run for the kid. I'm willing to bet over 200 yards.
I think that's a fair line you could take. As like we've said, all broadcast, Highland wins through the run game on offense. We saw it so much last year with Steven Trujillo. That baton has now been passed to Carson Molyneux. His real breakout game tonight against Desert Vista, as you said, we think 200-plus yards, had a score. This kid balled out tonight. He's going to have to be just as good, if not better, against big, bad Saguaro.
We'll be with Cam in a moment. Highland's going to talk very briefly, it looks like.
And not much to talk about when you win 31-7, Jack.
I think Coach is going to say, hey, good job, fellas.
At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is the win or the loss. And it may have come a little rough for the Highland offense tonight, but 31-7 is no joke. Another week, another Hawks win.
Highland breaks the huddle, and we will head down to Cam Miner. Cam, take it away.
One game at a time, man. We had some new blood in tonight, too, and they'll get better.
Coach Farrell, you got a 31-7 victory. First of all, I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, after to address it, I'm just curious on what went into your decision to obviously make a lot of changes on the offensive end, not only at the quarterback position, but the running back. I saw a tight end, a lot of new young guys, but most importantly, the quarterback position.
Yeah, the young guys became eligible, right? So they had to sit there 50% of the game, or of the games. We just weren't throwing accurate passes. We were like 35, 38% complete for the year. So we had a competition over the bye week and went with the young guy. Obviously, he had some struggles tonight, but we did some positive things, I thought, through the air. Still have a lot of improvement to do, and we need to not give the ball to the other team. That would be very helpful, so anyway.
And like you said, with so many young guys playing up like this, there's going to be some hiccups and growing pains. What were you just telling them about dealing with adversity and how to bounce back from that?
Yeah, you can't dwell on it, right? It happened, so we just have to move on and, play for the next play. I thought Carson played well tonight. He didn't start because of a decision he made over the bye week, so I wasn't going to play the first series. And I think he took that as motivation and ran hard all night. So he did good. We just got all around. We got into the football and not give it.
Right. It obviously makes it easy. And then the defense helping you out with that pick six. That was their first score off a turnover. Yeah. How was that?
Well, we've been playing excellent defense all year. That's really the only thing we haven't done. So we got that off our back. We got a defensive touchdown. I think we're going to need another one next week. Saguaro's very good, and getting a defensive or special team score a long way to helping us win.
For sure. Appreciate you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you, Cam. Back up in the booth here. Cam might be trying to find someone else as he wades through a sea of victorious Hawks. Searching for QB1, a sophomore, Kylan Fisher, who, Scott, didn't have a phenomenal night. He threw 3 picks, nothing really to write home about in the passing game aside from a few nice throws. He was carried by a solid run game, as we thought might be the case. But what's important was he got his feet wet tonight ahead of Saguaro.
Yeah, maybe getting those mistakes out of the way, in fact. Nice 31-7 win.
We'll go back down to Cam, who's with the man himself, Kylan Fisher.
Down on the field with sophomore quarterback Kylan Fisher. Kylan, this was your first varsity start. Tell me what you were thinking out there.
It was definitely nerve-wracking. Definitely not being able to get on the field in like about a year almost. It was definitely fun, definitely nerve-wracking, but I made the most of it.
You made the most of it for sure. And Coach was telling me earlier, I just interviewed him about how you guys had that battle basically just at practice, and you ended up coming out with the starting spot. What was kind of your mentality just at practice this week?
Just to work, literally just to work. Keep my head on the film, keep my head right in the field, and just work. Stay focused the whole time.
And obviously, it was your first game. There were some hiccups there. Obviously, some plays that you wish that you could take back probably. But how were you dealing with that adversity, and what do you have to do to get better for next game?
Definitely just forgetting about it, moving on as soon as I can, and just learning from my mistakes and just making the best of them.
You guys have a pretty good team against Sagaro next week. What do you have to do what does your whole offense basically have to do to just come away with the victory next week?
Basically, study film as much as we can, even more than what we already have to do, and just execute at practice.
Execute at practice for sure. First game's out the way, get those jitters out. You're going back into practice. Now as a leader, you have to lead this offense. How are you going to approach that?
Basically, just putting the team behind my back, basically telling them that I'm here, I'm going to lead them to where we need to be, and just lead me, just get behind my back.
Appreciate you. We look forward to seeing what you're going to do. Thank you. Good one.
All righty, Cam. And we will sign off from Highland High School tonight. Alongside Scott Sanduli, I've been Jack Loader. Thank you to Alicia Holman, our executive producer, Tanya Burdick, our other executive producer, Lewis McCurley, our production manager. Austin Evans has been with him on graphics. Up top, the cameramen, Deshaun and Thomas Delo. From the whole team, thanks so much. Deshaun Lee, DeAndre Winton, the on-field camera, down with Cameron Miner. This has been Highland Hawks football. We'll see you next week for a really fun night. Thank you to everyone for tuning in.